It begins tonight, a 6-week march to AT&T Stadium. The state championship games are on the horizon, and for these two teams, they hope the journey to a championship starts here in Argyle as the Eagles host Frisco Emerson in the 5A Division II by-district round on Friday Night Football. And with that, we welcome you inside the broadcast booth here at Argyle's Eagle Stadium. Mike Leslie alongside the former Lincoln High and Kansas State linebacker Heckma Harrison. Heckma, we are elated to have this game tonight. What a great football game in the first round. This is a game that fits better in third round, maybe fourth round usually. These are two really good football teams.
You could not ask for a better matchup in week one of the playoffs. Two teams that really, it's not steamrolled, but they went through the tough part of their districts. I mean, they emerged. Obviously, Argyle first in their district. Emerson on the other side, they had to fight through theirs. Tonight is going to be an instant classic.
There's little doubt that this should be a really special football game. You mentioned Argyle won their district, 3-5A Division II, 8-0 on the year. We did their game with Colleyville Heritage that ended up being effectively the district championship game in 3-5A D2. That is an impressive feat to go through this district with that many talented teams. Seguin and Summit that tied at 5-3, and Timberview as well. Three very good football teams. For Argyle to rip through that 8-0 is very impressive.
No, absolutely. And you talk about a Mansfield Summit team, 5-3, left out of the playoffs after being, one of the best in that district. Like you said, it speaks to how difficult that district was.
And if you think that district is good, wait until you see how good the district Frisco Emerson came out of is. 4-5A D2 with Walnut Grove, a state-ranked team. Lovejoy was state-ranked, and I believe at some point this year was state-ranked. Emerson and Melissa. Melissa was preseason state-ranked and missed the playoffs. Emerson had a war to get here tonight.
They are calling 4-5A Division II the new District of Doom because you have a Melissa squad that is out of the playoffs. Look, at top to bottom, I think Walnut Grove literally shocked everyone the way that they came in. They steamrolled the district for sure. Lovejoy is packed in there also, but again, it's so much competition at the top. This is an Emerson team that is battle-tested. You look at their record, you look at the teams that they lost to, and they were all the tops of this district.
This is an Emerson team. Now, I understand they had Mike Hawkins, a quarterback, the kid who's now at Oklahoma that started some games as a true freshman, so that matters that he's not here anymore, although DJ Shelton can play. Don't sleep on DJ Shelton. But they went to the state semifinals a year ago. This is a very good football team and football program that Kendall Miller is building at Frisco Emerson. They're on the come-up. But now Argyle is kind of the big dog again as they move their way up to 5AD2 over the course of the last 3 seasons, and they're the team that's ranked number 4 in the state and seems like the one that has the state title hopes. But Emerson says, hey, we did it last year. Why can't we run it back and do it again? These are two teams that played in district the last 2 seasons. They played a little over a year ago on this field in what was a very good football game. 41-34 the final score in that one. We've got some highlights from last year's game back in 2023. Argyle came away with the win in that one, scoring with 28 seconds left on the clock to get the win over Frisco Emerson in what was a back-and-forth game. Clay Marshall, I apologize. I'm doing you a disservice because I jumped the gun on you. These are the highlights from that game from last year, and just a terrific game back and forth all through the night. We can circle back to the bracket in just a second, Clay. This was a game that was wild, and because of the fact that these two teams have played each other in district the last couple of years, there are no secrets here, Heckma. These two teams know each other really well.
What they say, familiarity breeds contentment, so maybe the contentment will play out today on the field, but like you said, they are familiar with one another. That 28 seconds left in that game, and Argyle was able to come away with the victory. That still stings in the back of the minds of these players. They remember that game, and tonight they want to change their fate.
Whoever wins this football game is going to have a tough road to hoe going forward because this region in the 5A Division II bracket, Region 1, is very deep and talented. Lubbock Cooper got the win last night. They're used to making deep playoff runs. They're the team that Sock beat in the state semifinals a couple years back. Alito's played them in a state semifinal. They're used to going deep in the playoffs. Walnut Grove likely, although don't sleep on Arlington Seguin. One of those two teams is going to have to deal with Lubbock Cooper in the next round. Just this quadrant of the bracket is going to be really hard to come out of for some. somebody.
Yeah, no easy outs at all. And you look at all of those teams, and I think when you look at Frisco Emerson, if they're able to get past Argyle tonight, well, that's going to be a big-time knockoff of one of the best in that bracket.
Yeah.
So, look, all of the teams that you saw in there, specifically Walnut Grove, everybody is clocking and watching each other.
Dude, they were fun to watch a couple weeks ago. Argyle plays in a similar way, though, to Walnut Grove. They want to go, 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 go. It's going to be a challenge for the Emerson defense to get to the line of scrimmage fast enough to be able to make the plays they need to and try and slow down this Argyle defense. That does bring us to our players to watch for tonight, because there's a young man that plays for that Frisco Emerson defense that you just have to see. Heckma Harrison, you told me a couple days ago when we found out about this game, he said, all you need to know is Agape Lawrence.
Yeah, this kid is going to be all over the field. Number 11 plays like his hair is on fire. When you talk to Coach Miller about him, he literally said, I will never coach a kid like Agape Lawrence. He is absolutely phenomenal, one of the best in the district. And, man, tonight, keep your eyes on number 11.
Meanwhile, for Argyle, it's their running back, Watson Bell, only 5'7", 160. They've got an offensive lineman that's 6'10".
Yeah.
This dude can hide behind the offensive line and then just scoots.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that don't look at the stature of this young man and say he can't do it, because what he does when you stop him 2-3 plays in a row, then he busts you on the 4th and the 5th. He is really unstoppable.
What to you is the biggest key tonight? How is this game between two really good football teams? What do you expect to be the determining factor?
In a playoff and elimination game, it's going to come down who makes the most mistakes and who turns the ball over. So I'm looking at that, number one. Who comes out and does not play with the nerves. Mm-hmm. They feel like they belong. But also Argyle's offensive line, they are massive, but these kids can move. Yeah. And if they get going and they start pushing back that undersized Emerson defensive line, I think it's going to make for a long night.
Emerson's defense, especially the defensive front, is smaller. They're going to need to stunt and shift and move bodies around up front to be able to contend with Argyle's size, for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be pressure centric on their defense. They got to make sure that they do not allow McGuire Gasperson to get comfortable. They have got to pressure him. They can't let this offense get into the flow and be balanced.
Argyle just won the toss and elected to receive. We are just about ready to stir it up here on Friday Night Football. Gold Ball season has arrived. The first round of the UIL State Playoffs. Frisco Emerson and Argyle. Kickoff after this on Friday Night Football.
Thanks, Delkus.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
Your Friday night lights just got brighter. Catch a live broadcast of the biggest high school football games all season long. The 12-yard touchdown. Cheer on your hometown. Plus, get the full halftime experience. Don't miss every step, beat, and cheer. Lacey's still on his feet and he'll score. Join me, Mike Leslie, and Heckma Harrison for all the insights, commentary, and all the stats. Stream the broadcast free. Friday Night Football on WFAA+.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
North Texas, it's a hot one today. If you're planning on taking your pumps out, make sure to protect your paws. That asphalt is going to be hot.
Thanks, Delkus.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
Night Football, sponsored by Texas de Brazil.
From Eagle Stadium in Argyle, Friday Night Football on the air. Frisco Emerson, 7-3 on the year, 5-3, the fourth place qualifier out of District 4-5A, Division II, on the road to face the number 4 team in the state. The Argyle Eagles 9-1 on the year on a 9-game winning streak since their season opening loss to Frisco Lone Star back in August. 8-0 in District 3-5A Division II. Heckman, these are two fantastic football teams. We're going to get spoiled tonight.
Yeah, and the thing for me, Mike, is the coaching matchup. You have two really good coaches. So the chess match that we're going to watch tonight, I think is just going to be a master class at how to get it done. Both of these guys are going to key off of one another, but I look for this offense and this defense to get the party started here in Eagle Stadium.
John Pacheco to kick it away for Frisco Emerson and their head coach Kendall Miller in his third year at Emerson, 28-8 in that span. Led him to the state semifinals a year ago. Deep to return for Argyle, Will Krzyziak, Brooks Bryan, and Julian Caldwell. It'll be Bryan from his own 1-yard line to bring it out. Spins his way out of the initial tackle and across the 25 to the 26. And that's where the Argyle Eagles, led by their head coach Todd Rogers, will take the field. Rogers been there for 22 years, 253-44 in his tenure, 2 state titles, 2013 and 2020. And his starting quarterback tonight, McGuire Gasperson, the 6-foot junior, 64% completions this year, over 2,100 passing yards and 19 touchdowns, also 5 rushing scores as well. We saw it earlier this season, Heckman, against Colleyville Heritage. He can open it up and run the football, too. He's got some wheels.
Oh, you better watch him because he will get out of the pocket as he opens things up right now out of the pocket.
Taken down for a loss, though, on the play. It's Malik Hawkins and Tyson Cannon leading the charge. Agape Lawrence there in on the tackle as well. A loss of a couple. They tried to set up Watson Bell, the running back, going deep, but they couldn't find him.
Yeah, they have 2 really good corners out here as well.
2nd and a dozen. Play action, Gasperson. This time able to break contain. Gasperson's got the first down. And a flag at the end of the play.
As you saw it right there, they must have saw something coming around the right side, able to pin and hold and not allow to let these guys get contained. Well, that's a big pickup right there from McGuire Gasperson.
I think this is going to be a face mask.
I thought he got a hold of the jersey initially, but the flag came from a long ways away. Here's the replay.
The back judge is the one who threw the flag.
Oh, that's
this
the first
is the
play.
Previous play. It's going to set up 1st and 10 at the 46-yard line here for Argyle. They will go fast. Handoff here to Chase Bagley. He's a young man who has been injured most of this season. Back now, not 100%, but Heckma closer than he's been all year long.
Boy, have they needed his production. He is a big kid. The junior, 6'2", 200 pounds, and just that downhill ability in an offense that boasts one of the best offensive lines in 5A.
Loss of a yard, 2nd and 11. Watson Bell on the carry. Bell scoots to daylight. First down and then some. Inside the Emerson 35.
And that is the problem with Watson Bell. He gets in behind those big bodies, and you can't stay on those blocks very long because Watson Bell will come running behind you.
Argyle, one of the brand name programs in Texas high school football, looking to again get back to a state championship. That was caught by Braden Bach. Short pickup on a throw that was short.
Yeah, this kid, Braden Bach, the last time we were here, he had himself one heck of a day.
Yeah.
The tight end, big body kid, soft hands. I'm telling you, runs a ton of routes. He is the guy that they have to watch.
Only a gain of a yard on the play. He was open, but they couldn't quite get it to him. Gasperson's going to go deep here. looking end zone. That will draw a couple flags, no question. That was pass interference as they look deep for Will Krzyzak.
And the thing about that is Will Krzyzak got behind Elijah White, the safety, and there was nothing that Elijah White could do. Face guarding was what they're going to hit him with here, but, man, it's either you get the PI or give up the big touchdown.
Appreciate Allen, the one in coverage. The penalty will bring the football to the 17-yard line. So 2 big penalties here on Emerson on this drive to help Argyle down the field. Bell finally wrapped up. First downs have not gone well for Argyle on this drive. Multiple times now they've lost a yard or two on the opening play of a set. 2nd and 12 now.
Second time for us seeing this offensive line, and it is just amazing the size of these guys up front and their ability to move, Mike.
Tyler Roberts, 6'10", 330. Bell picking his way, weaving to the 16. It'll set up 3rd down and about 7. Argyle won 61 straight regular season games from 2015 to 2021, a state title within that stretch in 2020. They moved up to 5A D2 3 years ago. Had a very nice run their first year in 5A D2. Got to the state semifinals. A year ago, lost to Colleyville Heritage in the 3rd round. 3rd down and 7. That ball's dropped by Watson Bell. He wasn't going to have a whole lot of running room because right there in his face was Nate Leal. But it's 4th down and 8, and it looks like they're bringing the field goal unit on.
Mike, I'm going to call this a win for Frisco Emerson's defense. Ability to hold right there with those 2 big penalties on this drive. They clamped down on 1st down, got the stops. I mean, look, at one point, it just seemed as though it was a foregone conclusion that they were going to walk into the end zone, and then the Mavericks said, no, not today, stopped it. And if they only give up 3 points here, I think that's a win for Coach Miller.
Jackson Green from 33 yards on the right hash.
Wow.
Yes, indeed. And the Argyle Eagles start with a 3-0 advantage, paying off the opening drive and a couple penalties. Argyle strikes first in the first round of the playoffs on Friday Night Football.
The Cowboys getting set to take on the Chargers, and we've got it covered for you on WFAA. The Cowboys trying to get off to a hot...
Your Friday night lights just got brighter. Catch a live broadcast of the biggest high school football games all season long. The 12-yard touchdown. Back on Friday Night Football, 3-0 the lead for the Argyle Eagles as they pay off their opening drive with a 33-yard field goal from Jackson Green. Green also one of their 2 punters. Into the wind. Bobbled, but quickly corralled from his own 5-yard line with a head of steam. Bursting up the middle is Kelton Wafer. Wafer across midfield. Wafer with a convoy, and he's going to take it 95 to the house. Touchdown, Frisco Emerson.
That's how you open up a game. Kelton Wafer says, hold my Gatorade, and walks the dog, okay? We've been asking, we said something earlier about the nerves in this game. Kelton Wafer said, look, don't even worry about it. I'll take care of it for you, offense. How about that bobbing and weaving and then setting up his blocks and the convoy to the pylon.
15 seconds after the Jackson Green field goal, Kelton Wafer with the house call on the kickoff return. Nearly blocked was the PAT, but it's up and through. 7-3. Frisco Emerson with the lead. Heckma Harrison, welcome to the playoffs. Kelton Wafer.
And that's how you get things started off. I'm telling you, for Frisco Emerson, this is the way that they're going to have to play. They're going to have to take their shots and win in all three phases. Special teams right now has already checked that box. Offense, when they get out here on the field, they're going to have to check a box as well, because the defense getting a hold down here on that first drive from the Eagles. Man, that really said a lot about the way that they came in here. They got to stop, and then on the ensuing kickoff, takes it to the house. This is how you open up the party, boy.
The burst from Wafer up the middle to split the kickoff coverage team from Argyle. That was very, very impressive.
Yeah, he's definitely, he is a superstar, a guy that we didn't get an opportunity to talk about in the open, but there is a Kelton Wafer out here, as we see right now. Number 14 is to be dealt with.
So Pacheco back out to kick it away. Kicking with the wind here in this opening period. Line drive squib kick fielded on a hop at the 20-yard line. Breaking away is Nathaniel Bruce, trying to get to the outside, finally undercut. Bruce fielding that one like a shortstop.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's the squib kick did work.
So Argyle's offense, just that quickly back out on the field. Offensive coordinator Jake Gregory piloting a unit that averages 41.7 points per game. They run a power running offense that then sets up their vertical passing game, and they do all of that with an awful lot of tempo. This is a tough spot for this Emerson defense. You love being up 7-3, but their defense is right back out there having to deal with this tempo. And here comes Watson Bell on the end around, trying to get the corner. Bell up the near sideline across the 40 for the first down.
Yeah, and for number 31, Elijah White, you know, you understand that you have responsibility, a guy behind you, Jackson Canada, but man, you try your best not to let Watson Bell get around that corner the way that he just did.
1st and 10 at the 44. Bagley now. Canceled out by Agape Lawrence after a yard.
This kid's just, like I'm telling you, it's just spectacular. One of those linebackers getting an opportunity again before the game to talk to his coach about him. We went down memory lane talking about some of the great linebackers in Dallas Independent School District, and I told him he reminded me of an old Roosevelt High School linebacker in Alvin Briscoe.
2nd and 9, play action here for Gasperson, sets up Braden Bach. Bach lowers his shoulder, picks up 8 on the play. It's going to be 3rd down and about a yard. Frisco Emerson's defense, led by their coordinator Billy Ellis, giving up just 19.6 points per game. They are a pressure defense. Heck, they want to create havoc with their speed. They don't have a lot of size, so they want to use their quickness to create a mess for the offense. Bagley getting to the outside. The stiff arm gets him inside the 40. A 1st down run on 3rd and a yard. Picks up a big chunk.
To be as big as he is, you see how patient Bagley is, picking his spots, getting to the outside, recognizing that this Maverick defense, they are so fast, they're trying to get up the field. That's a great job picking up the 1st down.
What a great change of pace Bagley and Watson Bell are. Very different backs. It's Bagley again here for 3 on the first play of the set. We talked about Agape Lawrence in the open, but he deserves further conversation. Just a wonderful kid. That was the thing that I took away more than anything else from our conversation with Kendall Miller, was just what a great kid he is. In addition to all of that, looks like helmet came off there for Tyson Cannon. Tyson Cannon, he of the bright blue hair to match the helmet. That's a good look. I like that.
And it threw me off for a second. I was like, what's going on?
Did his helmet come off or not? It wasn't entirely clear. Gasperson to the air, deep shot for Caldwell. Touchdown Argyle. 34 yards on the hookup.
And number 5, Julian Caldwell on the post all by himself. And McGuire Gasperson could have just walked that ball out to him. What a throw by number 11.
On the money for Julian Caldwell, the sophomore. Todd Rogers told us earlier this season that Caldwell, when he's done here at Argyle, might be the best receiver to ever come through this program. He puts the Eagles on top, 10-7, mid-first quarter on Friday Night Football.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
Back on Friday Night Football, 10-7, the tally in favor of Argyle after the 34-yard hookup from McGuire Gasperson to Julian Caldwell. Looks like Ruvalcaba will kick this one away.
Oh, wow, he just gave us a shout out.
Shout out to Andy Smith, the public address announcer here at Argyle's Eagle Stadium, for the mention of the broadcast. We appreciate that. A little squib kick up the far sideline from the 28. Ooh. Hit hard is Cameron Lockhart. Beg your pardon, it's 9, not 8. Christian Lyons on the return there, the short return. And for the first time tonight now, we see the Frisco Emerson offense take the football field. One more look at the hit here that Lyons took.
Woo. That was 9 on 9
yes,
right there,
it was.
man. That was
Tom Irwin.
Yeah, Tom Irwin unloaded. He said, you guys are not taking this one to the house again.
So here comes DJ Shelton in this Frisco Emerson offense. The snap is high. Emerson able to pounce on top of it. Cameron Lockhart there to save the day, but that's going to be a massive loss of yards here as the snap from Austin Pelletier went right over the head of DJ Shelton.
One of the things I was talking about in the open was the nerve in a playoff games. And obviously Pelletier showing you right there that he is a ball of nerves right now with the snap over DJ Shelton's head.
Shelton taking over for Mike Hawkins as the starting quarterback for Frisco Emerson. And he'll go to the air here on the first official snap, or real snap, I should say. In and out of the hands of Kelton Wafer, the young man who had the kickoff return for a touchdown.
And a lot of times, man, those guys out on those quick outs like that, and he's got his eyes up the field already instead of securing the catch. Big third down here for the Mavericks.
Yeah, in a blink, it's third down and a mile. Officially 3rd and 23. They try and set up the tunnel screen here for a Wafer. Wafer makes a man miss. Won't quite make it back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, wow, it's a great play. Picked up about 14 yards. Unfortunately, just gets him back to the original line of scrimmage. Tunnel screen on. Look at Wafer just directing traffic. He's so athletic, so smooth, and man, they have more players than just 14.
Fourth and a dozen, and Emerson has to punt it away. Well protected. Fair catch called for and made by Nathaniel Bruce at the 37. And back comes this Argyle Eagles offense. Frisco Emerson a year ago made it all the way to the state semifinals in their second year as a varsity program. Knocked off Colleyville Heritage in the regional final in a thrilling football game to get to that state semi. And then Heckman, they gave South Oak Cliff, everything they wanted. Tied 10-10 at halftime. Very back and forth game. Ultimately a 36-24 Sock win as they would make it to AT&T Stadium. But Kendall Miller's got something working. Braden Bach, nice job to somehow hang on to that football. Second, third time he got his hands on it, he finally had firm control.
That's just called having mitts for hands right there, because he tips it up to himself. But Mike, before they run the next play, I just want to say styles do make fights, and I think that's why Emerson and Sock were so closely matched up.
Yeah. Second down and 9. Gasperson swinging it out near side for Bell, trying to get the corner, and he will. Watson Bell draws a flag at the end of the play as well. That'll be enough for a first down, and the flag will just add to it.
Yeah, they're gonna get Jackson Canada, I think, on a bit of a horse collar here at the end of the play, and Canada is just hustling on this play, and unfortunately gets the back of the jersey. You know what, funny story? A couple of weeks ago, Big Game James, you remember the guy Big Game James?
Yeah.
I accused him of being a Cowboy fan, and he says, no, I'm not, I'm a Tampa Bay fan. His son is Jackson Canada.
Get out of here.
No,
oh, that's too
small
cool.
world.
That is too cool. First and 10. Gasperson to the air. On target for Will Krzyzak. Just shy of first down yardage, maybe just enough. And yes, they'll move the chains, a gain of 10.
And this is where you get into the fun house right now of the Eagles, because after a big gain like that, what do? They come right back to the line of scrimmage. Your defense has to be ready to go.
First and 10, Watson Bell. Jump cuts his way for maybe 2 on the play. Bell just shy of 1,000 rushing yards on the season coming into tonight. 16 rushing touchdowns to lead the way for this Argyle Eagles offense. But he and Chase Bagley will be in a timeshare tonight, because Bagley was going to be their starter preseason and dealt with injury much of the year. Timeout called here by Emerson head coach Kendall Miller.
They saw something they didn't like and called timeout immediately to not allow the Eagles to get back to the line of scrimmage to run a play.
We mentioned earlier the run that the Emerson Mavericks went on a year ago. Here is that regional final thrilling football game up at the Star between Emerson and Colleyville Heritage. Mike Hawkins went off in this football game. Look at him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touchdowns after that one. He'd add a 6th later in the football game. 3 rushing, 3 passing in a 59-48 Emerson Mavericks win to move on to the state semifinals. Again, in their second year as a varsity program. An unbelievable run for Kendall Miller and his football team. Certainly Mike Hawkins, the young man that's at Oklahoma now, had a lot to do with that, no question. But DJ Shelton has had a very nice year for them this year. They got a ton of talent back on the defensive side of the ball. Certainly Agape Lawrence, paramount among that group. They only had 2 returners back on the offensive side of the ball, but Heckma still, through a very, very difficult district, able to matriculate their way through this season and end up here tonight in the first round of the playoffs. Difficult task in front of them, down 10-7 against this Argyle team, but quite a start to a program for this Emerson team.
No, for real. And the thing about that Michael Hawkins game, he went Chernobyl in that game. I mean, absolutely went off. And I think as the legend grows, that's going to be one of those games that in Texas high school football you will always remember. Right now, this vaunted defense finds themselves with their back against the wall.
2nd and 8 out of the timeout. End zone shot for Caldwell again. What a throw. Making sure. Touchdown? Yes. Yes. Still no official signal from either official, but yes, ball was caught. They went chasing after the defensive back on the play to make sure. I don't know if he slipped. I'm not sure what happened. He ran into somebody, I think, back there at the back of the end zone. Ultimately, yes, touchdown is good. And look at that throw to Julian Caldwell. 2nd time Gasperson and Caldwell hook up today.
Man, that ball was put on Caldwell from Gasperson. That is what you call dropping it in a bucket. That is so pretty. How many times? We were just here. It's almost like deja vu. These 2 hooking up on routes just like that. We were here for the Colleyville game, and those 2 hooked up on a touchdown in that end zone. Similarly, Tell you what, man, between these two guys, you have a junior and sophomore. Look for that number 5 and number 11 connection to happen quite often next season.
23 yards on the hookup from Gasperson to Caldwell. All of a sudden, 17-7, Argyle with the lead.
You need an answer here offensively from Emerson. Put a drive together, give this defense a bit of a rest. They've been on the field quite a bit here in this first quarter.
My apologies, the side judge did immediately signal touchdown. I was looking at the back judge who went running after the defensive back from Emerson, Elijah White. I think he collided into one of the students that was back there, and that was what drew the attention of the back judge and why he went running over there to make sure that, I think, one, that everybody was okay, and two, that nothing got sideways with that interaction. From his own 28, Lions able to get out to the 38 before being ripped out of bounds. Back comes this Emerson offense. We've only seen them on the field the one time, and that series kind of ended before it began because of the high snap, Heckma. So this is really the first opportunity for DJ Shelton and company to go to work, they hope anyway, with a clean scenario.
Yeah, kind of weird sequence for your offense. You know, obviously when they're preparing to come onto the field, they get the Kelton Wafer run back for a touchdown, so then they have to cool their jets. They got to get this running game going as you see him hand it off to Lockhart.
Lockhart trying to get to the corner. Landon Howell coming forward to make the tackle, a pickup of 2 on the play. Lockhart, healthier than he has been, Heckma, all season long. Dealt with injury that he suffered in the opener against McKinney. Slowly, just bit by bit, has been getting back into the lineup. 2 carries, 4 carries, 8 carries here and there over the course of the last 4 or 5 weeks. But Emerson, very strangely, had their bye week last week, final week of the regular season.
That is strange.
And Kendall Miller said it's kind of the worst thing that could ever happen, but now that they're through it, it might end up helping them. On a line behind the intended target, Caden Camps, who was open for the first down.
He was, and DJ Shelton, he rushed that throw. But, man, as you were talking about it, Mike, it really is good to have Lockhart back. He's one of those explosive backs that can make things happen in an instant. But another third down is on the Mavericks. They need to convert here with 3 minutes left in the first.
3rd down and 9. Play action fake. Shelton, pressure in his face. Dances away. Has to just throw it away. Nobody open downfield, and Argyle's defense gets another stop.
Wow. And that was a win up front by the defense. Look at number 44. Xavier Trotter is in hot pursuit. Man, Reno Herman as well, number 49, but they are getting pressure with just 3 down linemen.
Trotter was in his face in a heartbeat. And it's 4th and 9, and they've got to punt it away again. Another fair catch called for by Bruce on a high punt. And from the 27, Argyle's offense will get back to work. Back-to-back touchdown drives from the Argyle Eagles. McGuire Gasperson to Julian Caldwell both times to open up the scoring in a big way for Argyle tonight.
Man, this is something. How about the efficiency right now for this Argyle offense? The way that they are pretty much maneuvering at will right now. They found their spots against this defense. But on the outside, Mike, I really think they found their favorite matchup against Elijah White and Julian Caldwell.
Malik Hawkins, the stud corner on his way to Oklahoma. Now the one that is over top of Caldwell at the bottom of your screen as they start 1st and 10 here. Quick throw to Braden Bach. Makes the first man miss and gets out to the 35-yard line. A pickup of 8 on the play.
I don't know if you call that making a miss, because Braden Bach, 6'5", 230, that's a bit of a whiff right there. That's not want to take that big guy on up top. Let me tackle your shoes.
2nd and 2. Watson Bell meets Agape Lawrence in the hole.
Whew. and coming up in a hurry. Those are the kind of tackles that you need. Bringing up a third down. Again, can't be standing around the line of scrimmage if you're a Maverick defender. You got to get ready to go immediately because these guys are right back to the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 4. Lawrence's stats on the year eye-popping. 115 tackles coming into the year. 15 tackles for loss. Add another one to the tally right there. 3rd and 4. Play action. Gasperson, pressure in his face, fires, and it's incomplete. Knocked away by Christian Lyons. And a flag way late.
Wow. Oh.
Agape Lawrence trying to plead his case with the back judge who threw the flag.
Oh, man. Man, that's...
Arthur Williams, our crew chief tonight, says pass interference on Emerson, 1st down Argyle. That didn't look like pass interference to me.
Wow.
1st and 10, handoff Watson Bell. Just does a great job of squeezing through the hole. Should have been a loss of 2 instead of a gain of a yard.
Friday Night Football is sponsored by Texas Day Brazil. Kick off the holiday season with Texas Day Brazil online. Holiday gift card promotion. Get extra value when you purchase cards online. For every $100 gift card you buy on Texas Day Brazil's website, receive $25 bonus card, or purchase a $50 gift card online and enjoy a $10 bonus card. Share the ultimate Brazilian dining experience and treat yourself too.
Flag on the play there as they went deep for Grant Romero. Flag sitting at the 38-yard line. Microphone is not working tonight for Arthur Williams, but a hold on the Frisco Emerson defense is going to give another 1st down to the Argyle Eagles, and the ball will sit just into Frisco Emerson territory. Final 81 seconds of period number 1 here in the bi-district round. Watson Bell again on the handoff, squirts his way forward. Give him 3 on the carry. Gasperson's going to keep this one himself. Read perfectly on the far side, on the far hash by Tyson Cannon. Short gain on the play.
Stay tuned for the Friday Night Football halftime show, sponsored by Golden Chick. Golden Chick is the perfect post-game destination. Come in and see why. It's one taste and you're golden at Golden Chick.
3rd down and 6 forthcoming.
I didn't have to read that one like a crazy person. They're going so fast, man.
Blitz knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Well defended. Woo. Nate Leal, the linebacker, knocked it away. And what feels like probably a sigh of relief on the far sideline that Emerson is able to force a punt here.
No, absolutely it did. And Leal, if he doesn't get that tip, there is a guy streaking down the sideline because they're bringing so much pressure. I think for Coach Rogers, he's recognizing the pressure that they're bringing. He's trying to get screens and things behind these guys. They have to watch for that.
So the punt is away from Nathaniel Bruce. That bounced off an Argyle Eagle at about the 12-yard line, so it's going to come back to that spot. And that's where we will see the Emerson offense get back to work. Final 9 seconds of this first quarter. Heckma, we have not seen yet this Mavericks offense find any real rhythm. And one of the things that Kendall Miller told us earlier this week was with DJ Shelton, their quarterback, they feel like he throws the football well, but they feel like he truly is a dual threat quarterback. They need to get him running the football to get him into that rhythm. I wonder if we're going to see some of that here on this series.
Now, they just got to let their playmakers come out here. This defense is giving these guys a ton of problems, creating so much pressure. Ball comes out. DJ's able to. Yes, he did. Man, got upended. He's got that heavy knee brace on that right leg. As you see here, boy, they upend him in a hurry.
Garrett Westrom bringing the hammer on the final play of quarter number 1. 17-7 Argyle. The opening round of the playoffs on Friday Night Football.
Thanks, Delkus.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
Discover WFAA Plus, a live 24-hour stream of WFAA news and exclusive digital content, all completely free. Now available on Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV. Download WFAA Plus today.
Let us know in the YouTube comments where you're watching from tonight. Live chat on the right side of your screen. If you got a favorite player on either one of these two teams. If you're a parent, a grandparent, aunt and uncle across the country maybe tuning in to see some first round action in the UIL playoffs. 5A Division II by district round. Frisco Emerson down 17-7 to start this second quarter. Needing a drive. Their offense has got to find some sort of momentum here in this second period. Handoff here for Wafer. No, it's Shelton to keep it himself. Good fake to Wafer, or to Lockhart rather. I thought that Lockhart had the football. Shelton picks up maybe 2.
Hey, right now, Mike, you just trying to figure out who has the ball. that was a superior play fake. You got the play-by-play guy trying to figure out who the heck has the ball.
Where is it? Who's got it? What's happening here? Pickup of a yard or 2 on the play for DJ Shelton.
And we came in talking about this Emerson defense, but so far it has been Argyle's defense that is smothering everything that the Mavericks are attempting.
Big, heavy linebackers, and they are all over the place. Shelton to the air, pressured, can't get away. Down he goes. Argyle's defense all over the place here in the opening stretch. They'll mark him at the 3.
Good Lord. Number 97, Hank Woodard. What a massive young man coming after DJ Shelton. Boy, do they have some big bodies up front on that Argyle Eagles defense.
And now punting with his heels nearly on that back line. They're able to get the punt away, but fielded at the 35, and here comes Nathaniel Bruce, and Nathaniel Bruce lowers his shoulder inside the 5.
Wow. And they are just hunting right now, as you can feel all the momentum on this side for Argyle. They set this up perfectly. Should call a left return here. And look at the blockers that he has out front. If it was not for number 63, this thing would have been in the end zone. That's Damon Johnson saving the touchdown.
The line of scrimmage prior to the punt was the 3. The line of scrimmage now after the punt return is the 2. And it's first and goal for the Argyle Eagles.
And right back. This offense is right back out here, man. I'm telling you, they've got to find an answer on offense. DJ Shelton right now, he's seeing ghosts out there, man. He's, passing the ball too quick, not sure of what he's seeing.
Gasperson here up under center. Handoff to Bruce. Flags at the snap. Looks like Argyle didn't have everybody they needed on the field.
Is it a flag or okay?
I believe we're going to see a flag and the timeout awarded to Argyle. They did throw a flag. They still have the ball at the 2. It's not entirely clear. Argyle did call timeout. After the flag was thrown, I saw, I believe, the offensive coordinator, Jay Gregory, walking out and signaling for a timeout because I think he was frustrated that they were as discombobulated as they were. But they're leaving the football at the 2-yard line, so.
We saw number 76, Kurt Rudolph, running out at the last minute. Maybe the timeout was called before the penalty. Either way, no communication on that. But you know what I'm loving right now, Mike? No crickets, my man. No crickets.
If you were here earlier this year with us for Argyle and Colleyville Heritage, it was a straight-up locust storm here at Eagle Stadium. Out of the timeout, it is still 1st and goal from the 2. Gasperson gives to Bruce. Nathaniel Bruce hops his way into the end zone for the touchdown. He had the punt return. He gets the 6 points.
Up front, man, look at these big bodies up front, and they are just leaning on Emerson right now, down in the goal line. That's easy work when you got an offensive line as big as they do.
So Ruvalcaba on now for the extra point. What a start to this football game for the Argyle Eagles. Nathaniel Bruce with the punt return. Nathaniel Bruce with the touchdown run. 24-7.
Wow.
The number 4 team in the state looking like it early on here tonight in the first round of the playoffs on Friday Night Football.
The Cowboys getting set to take on the Chargers, and we've got it covered for you on WFAA. The Cowboys trying to get out to a high.
Your Friday night lights just got brighter. Catch a live broadcast of the biggest high school football games all season long. The 12-yard touchdown. Cheer on your hometown. Plus, get the full halftime experience. Don't miss every step, beat, and cheer. Lacey's still on his feet and he'll score. Join me, Mike Leslie, and Heckma Harrison for all the insights, commentary, and all the stats. Stream the broadcast free. Friday Night Football on WFAA+. 24-7 Argyle, the tally here on their home field as they lead Frisco Emerson. Heckma, what does Emerson have to do to get the offense rolling here?
Right now, they got to establish this running game. You know, you're down by this many points, but you have to stay balanced. You can't get to the point offensively with obviously 10 minutes left till the halftime to just start bombing away. You've got to establish the ground game, but also there's a ton of time left in this game. Defensively, you've got to find a way to get some stops.
Well, sidewinder kick that will go out of bounds. That'll be a penalty on Argyle. The Eagles are making sure not to kick the football to Kelton Wafer again after he had the 95-yard return for a touchdown.
They won't make that mistake again, Mike. It is over for Kelton Wafer and returning balls tonight. Austin Ani's here. Talk about a name.
There you go.
Austin Ani was amazing.
He was a dude for these Argyle Eagles and went on to UNT as well.
Yeah, Austin Ani.
When he was starting at UNT, wasn't he like 34? Like married with 3 children.
Why do you got to do to me like that, Michael?
That's my man's in the middle of a Chick-fil-A cookie. Oh, goodness. All right. 1st and 10 from the 30 here for Frisco Emerson off the penalty on Argyle on the kickoff. Can they get the offense rolling? Shelton keeps it himself, dragged down from behind. Grayson Peschel, the one who made the tackle. Peschel battled injury this year, but back healthy now, making a play.
Just nowhere to go right there for DJ Shelton. He's trying to find a way out on the play fake, but nowhere to go for this offense.
They've got playmakers. Cameron Lockhart back healthy. Kelton Wafer, you saw on the kickoff return for a touchdown. Blake McClain, the outside wide receiver. They've got talent. Jason Williams, 48 catches on the year. Can they get something rolling here? Big hit on Lockhart. And Argyle brings a different level of physicality.
Oh, they do, and they're not shying away from it. You got these wide receivers out here blocking, but man, that's just chasing down the play for number 33, Brody Bomar. You love it when your linebackers run and scrape and come downhill like that. Bomar, 6'2", 225. That boy's been in the weight room.
Emerson averages 35 a game. What can Corey Brunson draw up here on 3rd and 6? Deep shot up the middle of the field. Just overshot Jason Williams.
Oh, man. Offensively, it's right now for DJ Shelton. He's really just got to ask himself, look, man, my team needs me right now, and I got to start securing some of these throws. You have the speedster down here in Jason Williams. Just put it out there and let him run under it. Just a little too much air under that ball for Shelton.
So once again, Peter Coetzee back on the field to punt into this wind. Last time he punted, Nathaniel Bruce brought it back to the 2. End over end punt. Bruce bobbled it, managed to secure it, now somehow is broken away from the pack. Look at Nathaniel Bruce again go on the punt return, and he will score. Nathaniel Bruce on an unbelievable house call for Argyle.
My question is, how did Bruce get out of the clutches of this tackle? First of all, it looks like disaster because he bobbles it. In Canada, looks like he lowers a shot on him, but all of a sudden, Bruce comes out of the back end of this, and oh boy, there's a flag down on the field down here.
The flag is at the 28-yard line. The touchdown will count. After the play, a personal foul against Argyle. That'll be applied on the kickoff. The touchdown stands, though, so it is 30-7 in favor of Argyle. What a return from Nathaniel Bruce, 63 yards on the punt return for a touchdown. Both teams now with a special team score.
Those things are canceling themselves out. Both teams with the special teams touchdown. The defense on the other side, I think for the Argyle Eagles, man, they are absolutely showing out right now.
That's now a penalty on the extra point as Agape Lawrence went diving in trying to block the extra point. He does have 4 block kicks on the year, punts and field goals. But he's going to get flagged for the roughing the kicker, and I think that's basically just going to cancel out the personal foul penalty on the touchdown return. So now I think Argyle will just kick off from their usual spot. Yeah. That's what they're trying to sort through right now with Todd Rogers.
Let's take a moment to recognize these sponsors who give so generously to the Argyle Eagles Booster Club. Brian and Shelley Stones, shout out promotions. Rich McDowell, with G1 Lending. Dr. David Dyke at Argyle Orthodontics. Go Vision.
Ultimately, it would seem they have sorted things out. This is the Argyle students all dressed up in their camo gear tonight, cheerleaders as well. That's usually where the Argyle band is sitting. The Argyle band not here tonight because they are at a national competition in Indianapolis. So they said, all right, how do we still bring the atmosphere that the band brings? They've got kids down there in the student section wearing camo, and they've got basically overturned buckets and drumsticks, and they're just making as much noise as they can.
And they are definitely making noise. And hey, when they said that camo was going to be the gear of choice, they just picked out all of their hunting stuff and came to the stadium.
Yes, they did. So Argyle is still going to kick off from their own 25. It's going to be Jackson Green to kick it away this time instead of Ruvalcaba. We've seen Green, Ruvalcaba, and Nathaniel Bruce all kick off in this football game. Green with the biggest leg of the three clearly, and he's going to send Kelton Wafer all the way back to the 10-yard line to scoop this one up. Wafer already with one kickoff return for a touchdown. This one is going to stop at the 20-yard line. Argyle is flying all over the football field tonight.
They are, and what it looks like to me, just on looking at these guys on the field, it looks like they are playing literally at a different speed. Yeah. Right now, Emerson is just like, they're in catch mode, right? They're not figuring out what, obviously defensively, they're in a blender. Offensively, they just aren't able to get anything going.
Yeah. They absolutely have to right now. 8:22 in the second quarter. There's still an eternity left in this game. Handoff here for Lockhart. He's able to get to the outside. Give him 9 on the first play of the possession, out to the 29-yard line. Give it 8, 28-yard line.
I mean, just starting at the basics right now. If you're Emerson, just win on first down. You know, stop bringing up these 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9.
Yeah.
You know, 2nd and short definitely bodes better for this offense. But keep the sticks moving.
You mentioned it earlier, Lockhart has been hurt a lot of this year. He was a 1,000-yard rusher with 21 touchdowns a year ago. He's a big-time player for this Emerson football team. Can they get him rolling? Driven back on this one and held up well short of the line of scrimmage. A loss of 3 on the play. It's going to be 3rd and 5.
It's a great job by this defense. They are stringing this out for Cameron Lockhart. Lockhart is looking for space, but look at the way that these guys are getting up the field, just not allowing any space for Lockhart. Good job there. Number 27, Grayson Pretchell.
3rd and 5. They've got to get to the 30 to move the chains. Shelton looking to the far sideline. Corey Brunson changing things around. Play action. Shelton, deep shot, up the far sideline. That will draw a flag. One-on-one was Luke Lane. Yeah. And he had a fistful of Blake McLean's jersey.
Yeah, Blake McLean, the junior, absolutely flying on the outside up there. And the only way you can prevent this guy from taking it to the house on you is getting a handful of his jersey.
Blake McLean, the son of a friend of the program, LaDarren McLean, the color commentator for CW33. Our friends across town. LaDarren got to do his son's game earlier this year when they did the Emerson Walnut Grove game, similar to how you did with Heckma Jr. last week.
No, he got
8 days ago.
He got me prepped up and ready to go for it, so he told me what to expect.
1st and 10. Shelton spins his way forward for a yard. They cannot seem to find any ground.
No, that read option, their RPO game right now is just being picked off. They're trying to find some space. It's just not there, Mike.
This is an Emerson team that lost to Lovejoy 48-7 about 4 weeks ago. Season could have been basically toast right there. and they bounced back 7 days later and beat Melissa 38-35. That basically saved their season and earned themselves a playoff berth. They know how to bounce back. They need to, though, right now. Flags on the play as Shelton slid forward for a pickup of about 4.
Yeah, I think
flags are in the area of holding.
Yeah, that's exactly what that looks like. You have Big Max Bland out there. Last time we saw number 32. Last time we saw number 32 against Colleyville Heritage, man, that kid was all over the field. Talked about him being a junior, just a tackling machine in his own right.
Muscled up, physical, and you could apply that description to the entire linebacking core.
Oh, yeah.
For Argyle.
Well,
we talked about this with Todd Rogers earlier this year, the physicality that they bring. It's different. You can feel it tonight. You can feel it earlier this season when we did their game against Colleyville Heritage. They bring it at a very different level. That could have been a hold and will be a hold. The flag came in late, but it's definitely going to be a hold again.
Wow.
On the Emerson offense, and it's going to turn into second and about 30.
They start sprinkling in some good with sprinkling in some bad. Those holding calls will do nothing but back you up. And you already have a struggling quarterback in DJ Shelton just trying to find his way. That's not going to help. The more they back this team up, you see this defense, they're changing their coverage. Did they decline it?
They did decline it. They're going to go with 3rd and 13 over 2nd down and 29. They've got to get to the midfield stripe to move the chains. Shelton again looking to Corey Brunson, the OC. As the Argyle fans on the near sideline get loud. 2 wides to either side here for Shelton. Looking near side, in and out of the hands of Kelton Wafer, and incomplete. That should have been a first down.
Oh, Kelton Wafer, he goes down on the knee, trying to dig that ball out. This is going to be a great angle of that throw. Oh, hits him right on the shoulder pad. My goodness.
And Emerson will have to punt it again.
I think we were already saying that was going to be a first down, much needed first down for Emerson, and then you see the ball come out at the last minute.
And Nathaniel Bruce, ever dangerous, waits at his own 35. Short punt into the wind.
What?
Bruce dangerously fielded it, and it's a fumble. They won't be able to advance a muffed punt, so that will be Emerson football at the 42. But a mistake there by Nathaniel Bruce, who's been electrifying tonight, trying to make another big play, but muffs this one, and Johnny on the spot to recover it is Malik Hawkins.
And that ball hung in the air for a long time. Was really shocked that Bruce tried to return that. Thought he'd let it hit the ground and play the bounce.
When you're a playmaker of the order of Nathaniel Bruce, you're always looking for that next opportunity to go make something happen. And Lord knows on the short punt deep in Emerson territory, he made something happen, and he was looking to do it again. There was a penalty at the back end of all of this as well.
Boy, you ain't never lied. That's definitely Bruce being a playmaker, trying to make something happen, and obviously giving the ball back to the Mavericks. Now,
so the muffed punt and then a penalty, a 15-yard penalty on Argyle. You could see the signal from Arthur Williams about somebody being kind of pushed to the ground. I could almost hear him saying he was giving him the business, like the old school call. That's going to give another 15 yards here to Emerson, and all of a sudden, it's 1st and 10 Mavericks at the plus 26. A golden opportunity here for DJ Shelton and company. Can they make something of it? It was a personal foul, the penalty on Argyle. Shelton, wide receiver screen, and there to cancel it out is Max Bland, driving Kelton Wafer backward.
Number 32, he read that thing like a book, man. That's how you do it. From the linebacker position, recognizing that screen was coming. Look at number 32 running through the traffic. Great job, man. It's when you sink down, don't allow that guy to make a move on you.
A loss of 2 on the play. It has been tough sledding for this Frisco Emerson offense tonight. They've got to get to the 16 for a first down. Emerson needs a touchdown in the worst way. Timeout called by Kendall Miller. They know just how important this possession is.
No, you definitely want to get a score here. It couldn't come at a better time, that muff punt, but man, 5:05 left to the half. You've got to try and generate some points here. Friday Night Football is sponsored by Texas Day Brazil. The holiday season, get extra value when you purchase gift cards online. For every $100 gift card you buy at Texas Day Brazil's website, receive a $25 bonus card, or purchase a $50 gift card online and enjoy a $10 bonus card. A Texas Day Brazil gift card is the gift of a special night out for friends, family, clients, or employees.
You and I did a game here earlier this year where we saw Argyle jump all over Colleyville Heritage. They led 21-0 a minute and a half into the second quarter. And then we saw Colleyville Heritage come all the way back, and suddenly early third quarter it was 21-20. Then Argyle raced away from again, 42-20, and Colleyville Heritage almost reeled them back in again. 42-34, I want to say, if I'm remembering the final. 42-35, the final score back on September the 27th when we did that game. I say that only to say that we have seen Argyle show themselves to be susceptible to a comeback, at least in some form or fashion. Emerson's got a much bigger hill to climb here. They're checking on, look at that, the blood coming off the elbow of Brody Bomar, the talented senior linebacker. Emerson's got to score here. Got to go get 7 points here. But they do have the football to start the second half. I feel like your recipe, though, has got to be score here, get a stop, score again before halftime to really have any sort of realistic hopes of a comeback. They're going to go end zone here. The only person back there is an Eagle, and it's over the head of Landon Howell. Miscommunication there between Shelton and Caden Camps, and it's 3rd and a dozen.
Yeah, massive miscommunication right there, and may have had an opportunity. Just Blake McLean stops on the route, and DJ Shelton obviously is assuming that he's going on the fade ball, but I'm with you, Mike. They've got to get points here, even with getting the ball back to start the second half. Get that split to get yourself back in this game. So much time yet is still left in this game.
3rd and 12. They got to get to the 16. Shelton, far side, incomplete. Looking for Caden Camps. He was covered well by Xavier Sanchez, and it's 4th down.
Don't know about the leg of the special teams guy, but they're staying right now. They're staying, keeping these guys on the field.
Well, they're kicking into the wind right now.
Right.
They do feel like John Pacheco's got range to about 40, maybe 45 if he had the wind with him. From here, you're talking about 45, 46 yards into the wind. This is not field goal range for Frisco Emerson. It's not field goal time either. Down 31-7. Got to go get a first down. Shelton stepping up in the pocket. Fires downfield, complete. First down and then some. Inside the 5 for Jason Williams. Biggest play of the day for the Mavericks.
And you got to give Jason Williams some credit, recognizing that zone on the back end. And what does he do? Just sits down in the middle of it, finding room, space, and opportunity, and also keeping his balance to get the ball down to the 2-yard line.
1st and goal here for Emerson. Final 4.5 minutes of this first half. Lockhart to the left of Shelton. Ooh. Breaks the first tackle. Keeps the leg drive going. Lockhart short. Got right to within a whisper of the goal line. Really good run.
Max Bland is in the backfield. Oh man, they missed the face mask big time right there, but Max Bland has a hold of him, and he is able to get out of the grips of number 32.
The student section getting loud behind the end zone, trying to make things tough on DJ Shelton and company. 2nd and goal from inside the 1. Into the pile, but no. Nick Clark stood up.
Wow. We talked about this massive offensive line. How about this defensive line? They are stonewalling these guys. Look at that. Zero penetration or zero offensive line push there from Emerson. Man, what do you go to when you get a defense like this that's not allowing you anything?
Big John Hurt in the middle there, 6 foot 260. Can they move his body? Clark on the handoff. No, Shelton kept it, nowhere to go. 4th down.
Well, you can see right now DJ Shelton, that big knee brace on his knee, man, he is just not getting any push off of this ball. 4th down.
Can you roll Shelton out here maybe? What can you do? Emerson grasping at straws, trying to find the end zone. Motion man. Shelton on the option pitch to the end zone. Touchdown for Nick Clark. Emerson's offense finally finds pay dirt.
Whew. What a big answer there from Emerson. 4th down, that was a pressure-packed situation. And you just allow number 6, Nick Clark, to get on the outside and the score. I think Frisco Emerson desperately needed that score right there.
Extra point is up and through. 31-14. Emerson scores here late in the period to give themselves at least a measure of life. Nick Clark capping off the touchdown run, his 5th touchdown of the season. The option pitch from Shelton, the play that finally popped for him.
I will tell you this, there was no way that Coach Miller was going to attempt to run that thing through the A gap again. Just wasn't going to happen. Stay tuned for the Friday Night Football halftime show, sponsored by Golden Chick. Golden Chick is the perfect post-game destination. Come in and see why we say it's one taste and you're golden at Golden Chick.
On the Friday Night Football halftime show, the Emerson High School Band under the direction of Bryn Roberts, Amanda Birch's Emerson High School Majestics, and the Argyle High School Majestics under the direction of Haley Martinez, the 5-time defending state champion drill team. The Argyle High School Marching Band not here tonight. They're at a national competition in Indianapolis, so we'll have those 3 units performing at halftime. There you see the Emerson High School Band.
Argyle really has a good band also, so
yeah,
I was a little bummed out when I heard they were not going to be here. So, but we do get an opportunity to see the Mavericks band, so not half bad.
Both drill teams are the Majestics. The Emerson High School Majestics, the Argyle High School Majestics.
Would it be a Majesta off? Nah, I went for it.
I'm not touching.
Okay, never mind. I'm sorry.
2:10 left in the period. Can Emerson get a stop? They could really, really use a defensive stop. The best thing that happened, by the way, other than the 7 points just now for Emerson, is that their defense also got a breather finally for the first time in what feels like forever. Maybe the first time tonight. Short kick, fielded right on the sideline. Jackson Green probably thinking better of that when he realized where his feet were, that he should have just let that one go out of bounds.
Go out of bounds. Or step out of bounds and catch it.
That's exactly right. Go full Randall Cobb. That's when you really know the game. So Argyle will take over at their own 27.
I'm going right back to this Julian Caldwell, number 5 down here at the bottom of the screen. They found something in that matchup in the first quarter.
Yeah. He's got Christian Lyons over top of him right now. They're going to run the swing pass near side. Watson Bell did not catch that football. It's incomplete. It was a forward pass, only just barely.
I think that little bit of a break did this Emerson defense good. They really, the first quarter, it seemed like they played the entire quarter.
Yeah.
Needing an opportunity to adjust to the speed of this game.
Bach, the motion man. Now he'll circle back to the near side. They run the reverse here. Trying to set up Krzyzak, and he fumbled the football. Loose inside the 15. Who's got it? Emerson's got the football at the 10. First and goal, Emerson. The recovery by Elijah White.
First of all, this whole thing was set up by Jackson Canada. Look at him on the outside. The reverse is coming. He gets his hand there through on Krzyzak. Boy, great job on the outside by number 20 on the contain, but the tackle punching that ball out as well. And I think the momentum is swung a little bit here.
Jackson Canada with his second forced fumble of the season, and it sets up first and goal, Emerson at the 10. Shelton going to keep it himself. No gain.
Yeah, I like DJ Shelton. But, man, I'm telling you, that right knee is not holding up for him. You could tell his little gimp in his giddy up. The young man is fighting through it.
Good comment here from Charlie McBride in the YouTube comments. He says the winner of this game will play Wichita Falls Memorial. Memorial played their playoff game earlier tonight against El Paso Chapin. And according to Charlie McBride, won the game 70-28.
Yikes.
Shelton, handoff for Lockhart. Lockhart trying to find a hole, cuts his way forward, maybe gained 3 on the play.
And right now, man, they're going back quick to the line of scrimmage. What is the play here for the Mavericks?
3rd and goal from the 6.
Do they test them on the outside with McClain?
Shelton has Lockhart move to the right side. And now a timeout called by Argyle with 36 seconds left here in this opening half. Again, Emerson has the football to start the second half. So a golden opportunity here for the Mavericks to get right back in this football game. Certainly they'd love to get 7 here, but even 3 get you back within 2 scores, and you've got the ball to start the third quarter. This game has turned at least a bit. There's still a lot of work for Emerson to do, but the opportunity is now visible in front of them.
And that's what turnovers can do for you. We talked about it in the open. I said one of the things I'm looking at is those turnovers. Who's going to turn the ball over, penalties that are made. Obviously, the nerves in this as well, and you've seen a lot of it come on the Emerson side, although they have collected 2, I believe, now turnovers so far in this game, if my memory serves me correctly.
Yes, the fumble, the muffed punt by Bruce.
Yes.
And now the fumble just a moment ago by Krzyzak.
So things like that are happening in your favor. You just have to take advantage of it. Right now, this 3rd down is crucial for Emerson because I don't think they'll go for it on 4th down. I think they'll take the points.
They paid off the muffed punt with the Nick Clark touchdown run. What did they do here on 3rd and 6 off the Krzyzak fumble? To the air, Shelton dropped in and out of the hands of Kelton Wafer, and it's 4th and goal.
And all you can ask for is give him an opportunity there, and DJ gives, oh man, that's one that Kelton Wafer wants that one back. Boy, that's a tough ball.
No field goal unit out there. Emerson's going to go for 6. They need 6 yards to get 6. Shelton over the middle. Wafer hauled it in. Did he score?
That's a touchdown.
Did he score before the ball came out?
That's a touchdown.
Fumble came out.
That's a touchdown.
No ruling yet. Argyle's got the football in their hands. Officials are going to have to talk this through. The headline judge is saying, touchdown, Frisco Emerson.
That's a touchdown.
Wafer caught that football, and before it came out, I think they're right, turned, and you're going to get a great look at it here.
Oh, Graham,
Wafer.
you're so
Yes,
awesome, Graham.
That is a touchdown. Great shot from Graham Rayner right down the goal line. Wafer caught the ball and turned into the end zone before the fumble. Touchdown Emerson with 23 seconds on the clock in the second quarter.
I tell you what, Graham Rayner on the spot for that call. You see the sigh of relief from the coaches right there. Look at this. Wafer recognizing where he is. Plants across the pylon. That's a score, sir. That's it.
31-21. Whew. Emerson with life here late second quarter. Kelton Wafer just barely breaking the plane. Great work by our crew.
How about the confidence, though, from this coaching staff? Kelton Wafer drops the initial touchdown.
Yes.
Okay? Drops it. They come right back. The next play, fourth down. Go right back to your big play wide receiver, and he rewards you.
6 yards on the touchdown hookup. And Emerson pays off both turnovers with 7 points. And they have turned a 31-7 Argyle domination through the first 16 minutes of this football game into now a 10-point game as we head to halftime.
It all looked one-sided, Mike, for a very long time in this game, and those 2 turnovers literally just tilted the scale in this game. Still, Emerson they don't feel like they've woken up completely as a team. It still feels like right now Argyle has the momentum and they're moving faster. The aggressiveness on the other side for the Eagles. I'm just, look, they've been all over those guys over there in baby blue. When they go into halftime, look, Coach Kendall Miller is going to have to give these guys some kind of motivational speech to get them coming out of this locker room with their hair on fire, because they're going to have to match this intensity if they want to go into the next round.
He told us about the loss to Lovejoy and how they came in on Saturday after getting, frankly, their tails handed to them in a 48-7 loss to a really good Lovejoy team. He said, we came in the next day and I said to the guys, listen, we can pack it in. You guys can call it a season. We could be done after next week, because they played Melissa 7 days later. He said either that or we can decide as a group to rededicate ourselves, refocus ourselves, and come back to practice tomorrow like we're going to win next week's game. And they come back and on their home field, which, you know, helps a little bit. Health helps a little bit too. A team that didn't have a bye week until last week. Yeah. But they came back and won that game against Melissa 38-35, saved their season, earned themselves a playoff spot. They've been down already at points this season and figured out a way to respond. They were down 31-7, and they've already had at least part of a response. We'll see what else they've got after halftime. But already an impressive start to what they hope is a comeback. Gasperson not content to just go to the locker room up 31-21, coming near sideline, steps out of bounds across the 40-yard line with a first down. 16 seconds in the period, 1 timeout for Argyle. Playing with the wind here, and a kicker in Anthony Ruvalcaba that they feel like has range to about 40.
And that is the danger of Gasperson. Can't fall asleep around this guy.
They mark him at the 41. Krzyziak in motion. Gasperson looking deep, trying to signal. Instead, sandwiched right at the line of scrimmage. Agape Lawrence there to combine on the tackle with Jackson Canada. 3, 2, 1. Argyle will not get back to the line of scrimmage to snap it again, and that is how we will head to halftime. Heckma Harrison, suddenly, somehow, it's a football game again.
It is, and I think it's those turnovers that really changed the scope of everything that we were talking about before. For a very long time, I said that first quarter, beginning of the second, it looked like Argyle was just going to steamroll, and before you could blink, Emerson started to answer defensively. They started to get stops, but it was the offense. Man, they went on one of those masterful drives and let it pay off with points, and then they get the turnover. deep in the Eagles' territory and turn that into points. And now they're only find themselves down by 10.
Emerson will have the ball to start the third quarter, down just 10. Game on in the first round of the playoffs here on Friday Night Football. The halftime show after this.
Thanks, Delkus.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
Your Friday night lights just got brighter. Catch a live broadcast of the biggest high school football games all season long. The 12-yard touchdown. Cheer on your hometown. Plus, get the full halftime experience. Don't miss every step, beat, and cheer. Lacey's still on his feet and he'll score. Join me, Mike Leslie, and Heckma Harrison for all the insights, commentary, and all the stats. Stream the broadcast free. Friday Night Football on WFAA+.
Thanks, Delkus.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
Your Friday night lights just got brighter. Catch a live broadcast of the biggest high school football games all season long. The 12-yard touchdown. Cheer on your hometown. Plus, get the full halftime experience. Don't miss every step, beat, and cheer. Lacey's still on his feet and he'll score. Join me, Mike Leslie, and Heckma Harrison for all the insights, commentary, and all the stats. Stream the broadcast free. Friday Night Football on WFAA+.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
North Texas, it's a hot one today. If you're planning on taking the pumps out, make sure to protect your paws. That asphalt is going to be hot.
Thanks, Delkus.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
The Cowboys getting set to take on the Chargers, and we've got it covered for you on WFAA. The Cowboys trying to get off to a hot.
Right now in Terrell and in Dallas, your heat index is 107. Everyone in McKinney is dead. It's hot in McKinney. We'll fix that probably.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
Discover WFAA Plus, a live 24-hour stream of WFAA news and exclusive digital content, all completely free. Now available on Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV. Download WFAA Plus today.
What's up, football fans? It's the best time of the year. Every Monday morning, we want to hear what you have to say about the game. Join me, Mark Istook, Glenn Strutch-Smith, and Rebecca Lopez for the Call-In Show, Monday mornings at 11:30.
Sponsored by Keypost Company.
Thanks for downloading the WFAA Plus app. The main page is a live stream of WFAA programming, and you can find on-demand stories as well. Just click a tab at the top of your screen and scroll down to find WFAA original programming.
Back on Friday Night Football, let's roll with the highlights. Let's just show you how the first half happened. And this was the kickoff return for a touchdown from Kelton Wafer. He took it 95 yards after Argyle had kicked an early field goal courtesy of Jackson Green, and it was 7-3. But then from there forward, Heckma Harrison, it was all Argyle for a while. McGuire Gasperson twice hit Julian Caldwell deep.
Yeah, they found that connection, and I think those two really got the party started here in Eagle Stadium. They were hard to match, man, and then once the running game got going, it looked like it was literally all downhill from there for the Emerson Mavericks.
It looked like Elijah White was going to be able to knock that ball away, but it was dropped perfectly on Caldwell by McGuire Gasperson. Then a couple of punt returns from Nathaniel Bruce. One led to this short touchdown run from Bruce, and then the second one he actually scored on, and Heckma, this punt return was terrific. It looked like the play was over right here.
I had no idea how he got out of that, got out of pressure, and I think that's the same thing for the Mavericks. They were trying to figure out how he got out of it as well, but that score, that was incredible by the Eagles.
That made it 31-7 Argyle. And it looked like the route might have been on, but Emerson has found something here late in the half. They turned one turnover, a muffed punt by Bruce, into that Nick Clark 3-yard touchdown run on 4th and goal. And then another 4th and goal, this by Kelton Wafer. Yes, he scored. We'll show you another angle here right down the goal line. Turned and scored before that ball came loose.
Boy,
and the touchdown stood for Kelton Wafer to make it 31-21. And Heckma, Emerson's got the football to start the second half. It kind of feels like game on.
Yeah, this was
here in Argyle.
This was one of those plays that we have a guy right there on the goal line, and he picks up that Kelton Wafer touchdown. And this is how razor close this part of the first half was.
Yeah.
I thought all the momentum literally was on the side of Argyle. They were playing at a different speed. They had everything going their way. They had the special teams touchdowns as well. It just looked like they were smothering this Mavericks team, period. And then all of a sudden, like the Undertaker, these guys raise up from the dead. And then all of the, the defense for Emerson, they're not playing that bad. They are trying to stay in this game. They were able to get the Eagles off of the field. Offensively is where they're trying to find the rhythm. And right now, DJ Shelton, look, he's got to be in that locker room telling himself, I've just got to complete a couple of these throws, and we are back in this game.
To that end, you talk about the offense struggling for Frisco Emerson. Let's show you the stats from the first half of this football game. -5 rushing yards in the half for Frisco Emerson. The passing game was able to do a little bit, but really not much in that regard either, because a big part of why they have -5 rushing yards has a lot to do with some of the sacks of DJ Shelton. In high school and college football, those go down as negative rushing yards, not a knock against the passing game. So both through the air and on the ground, Emerson has struggled to move the football. 2 huge turnovers helping to lead to their 2 offensive scores. Of course, the kickoff return for a touchdown from Wafer got things started for them as well. So they have figured out a way to be in this football game, but they've got a mountain still to climb in terms of how the game has been played and in terms of really finding their sea legs in this football game.
Well, we came in, we were talking about the Emerson defense, and then all of a sudden Argyle's defense said, wait a minute, hold up. We're out here as well. These 3 guys, they get pressure with 3 guys up front, and they have, again, they've taken this offensive line for Emerson and just completely detach these guys from any trying to get to the second level, third level, any of that. And I think here in the second half, if they're going to get this running game going, it's going to be because of those guys up front that are taking the issue with what's going on in that in that defensive line. It's going to happen in the trenches. But let me just tell you this: running back wise, although they were able to get Lockhart back, Lockhart hadn't been as effective as you would like to see him.
Yeah.
Look, they've nullified him as well. The penalties started to add up there in the first half for Emerson, but they still were able to get 2 turnovers. A lot of times when a team is able to win the turnover battle, you see a difference in that in the score. Hadn't seen it so far in this game.
Something you and I talked about earlier today, and we saw a lot of it, especially through the first 16 minutes of this football game. The question you asked me, does Argyle have a weakness? They look like a very complete football team. Now, we did see earlier this year they gave up the comeback to Colleyville Heritage 2 different times. They let Colleyville Heritage kind of reel them back in. And certainly Frisco Emerson's trying to run that back and do the same right now. So there's maybe that one thing that for whatever reason they're susceptible to a comeback. But this is a very complete football team.
Yeah, you got to make them pay when they do make a mistake.
Yeah.
And you saw from Nathaniel Bruce when he bobbled that ball and he fumbled it down there in his own territory, getting points off of that was imperative.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they've done. And so for a team like them, like theirs, when I'm talking about Argyle, that's going to test you at every square foot of the field in every position on the field. They have to play really error-free in every way. When they get to going back to the line of scrimmage quickly, you got to get set up, you got to get ready. They have matchups that they're taking advantage of. Elijah White in that first half, they were singling him out. You got to win your matchup. In the second half, it's going to come down to who does that and who's going to be able to get the goal ball and go to the next level.
Can Frisco Emerson put together an offensive drive and go score here to start the third quarter? If they do, they could cut the lead down as small as 3. Then this might really get interesting. Second half of Friday Night Football coming your way after this, right here on WFAA+.
Thanks, Delkus.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
Your Friday night lights just got brighter. Catch a live broadcast of the biggest high school football games all season long.
The 12-yard touchdown.
Cheer on your hometown. Plus, get the full halftime experience. Don't miss every step, beat, and cheer.
Lacey's still on his feet and he'll score.
Join me, Mike Leslie, and Heckma Harrison for all the insights, commentary, and all the stats. Stream the broadcast free. Friday Night Football on WFAA+.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
North Texas, it's a hot one today. If you're planning on taking the pumps out, make sure to protect your paws. That asphalt is going to be hot.
Thanks, Delkus. Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
The Cowboys getting set to take on the Chargers, and we've got it covered for you on WFAA. The Cowboys trying to get off to a high...
Right now in Terrell and in Dallas, your heat index is 107. Everyone in McKinney is dead. It's hot in McKinney. We'll fix that probably.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
Discover WFAA Plus, a live 24-hour stream of WFAA news and exclusive digital content, all completely free. Now available on Apple TV, Roku, and Fire TV. Download WFAA Plus today.
What's up, football fans? It's the best time of the year. Every Monday morning, we want to hear what you have to say about the game. Join me, Mark Istook, Glenn Strutch-Smith, and Rebecca Lopez for the call-in show, Monday mornings at 11:30.
Sponsored by Keypost Company.
Thanks for downloading the WFAA Plus app. The main page is a live stream of WFAA programming, and you can find on-demand stories as well. Just click a tab at the top of your screen and scroll down to find WFAA original programming.
back at Eagle Stadium in Argyle. 5,000 seats, the capacity here. There aren't many to be had tonight. Both fan bases showing up in full force for the opening round of the UIL playoffs. 5A Division II by-district round. Winner moves on to face Wichita Falls Memorial in the second round. Frisco Emerson, state semifinalists a year ago, went to the 5th round of the postseason as a second-year varsity program. Tonight, trailed 31-7, but Heckma, they will have the football to start the second half. Agape Lawrence trying to hype up the far side Emerson crowd because they feel like a comeback is set to be continued at the start of this third quarter.
Whoa.
Going Ray Lewis a little bit. Okay.
If that's not enough to get the party started, I don't know what will, okay? But this offensively, they've got to get back into some type of rhythm. I was talking about the running game when you gave me the stat that they are negative in yards. That really, like, to me, that was the biggest, like, what?
Yeah.
Because that was the one area offensively that you felt like, look, if they were going to have any balance, they had to continue to try and go back to this running game. Now that you're at negative yardage, what do? I think now you're at the point where, look, I got to get my short passing game going. Anything I can pick up, positive yards, if it's going to DJ Shelton and relying on his legs. But, man, I got to get the ball into the hands of my playmakers. Blake McLean hasn't caught the ball yet. You got to get guys like that involved in his offense. Jason Williams, your speedster, see if he can take the top off of this defense. You've got to get guys out in space, and literally you got to risk it all. And here, I got something else for you. I know you're going to like this. If you score right here, onside kick it.
Oh, okay. All
onside
right.
kick it.
Heckman's calling a shot here.
Onside kick it.
Jackson Green to kick it away for Argyle with the wind here in this third quarter. Into the end zone for a touchback, and out comes DJ Shelton and this Emerson Mavericks offense. Once again, Shelton taking over for Mike Hawkins as the starting QB. Through for the touchdown pass to Kelton Wafer with 23 seconds left in that second quarter to make this a 10-point football game and give Emerson the opportunity to go into the halftime break feeling like, hey, we got a chance in this football game. What did Kendall Miller say to his football team at halftime, and how do they come out of the gates here? Far side, making the first man miss, and picking up maybe 2 or 3 is Jason Williams, the 5'7" inside receiver.
Yeah, he is a guy that's very slippery, and you're going to get yards after catch with number 7. And, boy, that's a guy you don't want to see go down, Max Bland. That's a big old joker right there, boy.
Bland waving off the coaching staff and the training staff, saying, I'm fine, I'm fine. Tom Irwin will come on to give him a breather. Bland 6'2", 245, looking like young Heckma Harrison out there on the football field.
No, he ain't looking like young Heckma Harrison. He looking like a big Max Bland right now. In the Bland household, there's no cereal in their house. Max Bland takes care of all of it.
What was your playing weight back in the day?
Man, about 220.
Okay,
not 245.
Gain of 2 on the opening play of the half. Shelton, near side, complete in the hands of Blake McLean, and he's stumbling his way across the 40-yard line with a first down. First reception of the day for Blake McLean, his 33rd of the year. LeDarren McLean's kid picking up the first down.
I tell you what, man, that's what I said. Your playmakers have got to get involved. You got to allow these guys in space. They're man on the outside. They switch it. A lot of man zone being played. You got to allow these guys to get into rhythm.
Nowhere to go
offense.
for Cameron Lockhart, and Xavier Trotter made sure of that.
Xavier Trotter getting up the field, and he's going to get that tackle. But again, the running game is giving you nothing.
Frisco Emerson is a zone read offense. They want to use their run to set up their pass. They want Shelton to be able to be a dual threat quarterback. They want to have the threat of Shelton and Lockhart. You mentioned this in the first half. Shelton just doesn't look like he's moving well enough with that knee to be able to really be that threat that they need him to be. if you're the Argyle defense, you got to just key on Lockhart every time, right? I feel like they've got to go a different direction here with that. They go play action here. Shelton going to try and make a man miss, and does across the 40. Shelton with a nice run made Brody Bomar hit the deck and sets up 3rd down and 5.
Boy, he may have unplugged Brody Bomar on this one play. This is where you hear the computer shut off right there, number 33. Oh, my God.
Oh. Heckma Harrison, you just sent me with that one.
Jeez. That was a heck of a head fake right there.
Your opponent has left the game. 3rd down and 5. They've got to get to the 49 in Argyle territory to move the chains. Emerson needs a drive. Flags at the snap. Timeout before what was going to be, I believe, a delay of game. That is an early timeout in the second half, and a half that you imagine they may end up needing that timeout.
That's really one of the toughest parts about being a head football coach. When you recognize that the play is not in on time, you cannot afford to burn timeouts this early in the 3rd quarter. That's one that we're going to have to take a note of, Mike, because when you get down to the 4th quarter, you're going to need all of those timeouts or the ability to stop the clock.
Let's bring you back to 2020 for a moment. The last time the Argyle Eagles made it to AT&T Stadium. They're hoping 6 weeks from now they're right back there. This game was the Tito Bice game. He went off in this football game. 4 touchdown runs in total, 3 in the first quarter alone to help Argyle build a 28-0 lead on Lindale. C.J. Rogers quarterbacked the Eagles to a title that year, hit the deep ball here, and Argyle rolled on their way to championship number 2 in their history. They also won it all back in 2013. Out of the timeout, 3rd and 5. Again, they've got to get to the 49 to move the chains. They pick up the pressure, near side, complete. Wafer breaks a tackle across the 30, still going inside the 25 and slung down out of bounds.
This kid, Kelton Wafer, man, he is a playmaking machine. Get him approach this first guy, Bracey, trying to get a stop on him, and then the stiff arm, and he's still 10, 15 yards, 20 yards up the field, yards after catch.
We saw him drop a couple balls in the first half. He's responded to his own, I don't want to call them errors, but miscues anyway.
Yeah.
Plays that he certainly would want back, plays that he feels like that's a catch I got to make.
That's a sign of a good player.
Big time answer on the touchdown catch, and again right there, breaking away and setting up 1st and 10 at the 22. Lockhart, nowhere to go.
Yeah. I'm telling you, up front, and you have Max Bland, they're shooting the gaps, and they're not giving away any quarter in this running game. It has been number 44 continuously, Xavier Trotter.
He's had a monster game.
Yes, he has. And there have been times number 99, Tanner Kane, comes in as well. And you get those big bodies up front, man. It's hard to move these big fellas around.
2nd down and a dozen. Play action. Shelton, far side. McLean inside the 15. They'll spot him right at the 15. It's going to be 3rd down and a pair.
Yeah, you got, again, playmakers. Give your playmakers a chance. We talked about it coming straight out of the half. Look, the running game's not working. You're negative in the running game. They've cued to something. That RPO, read option, whatever you want to call it, they're not respecting DJ Shelton in it. And they don't think that he's going to take the ball, he's going to run. Where he's been a threat to them is when he's got outside of the pocket.
3rd down and 2. Got to get to the 14. Shelton's going to have to keep it himself. I don't think that was the play design, but he bobbled the football, and he's bottled up.
Oh.
4th down and 5. No movement from the special teams unit on the far side. It looks like they're going for it here. They are going into the wind.
2nd time that's happened, where they've had that errant snap from Pelletier. Big 4th down right here by Emerson.
Comment from Retort in the YouTube comment says you're not going to run on these guys.
It's 10 seconds, 9 seconds. They're going to get a delay of game here. They're not even at the line of scrimmage.
3, 2, and again, Kendall Miller's going to have to burn a timeout here before 4th and 5.
Wow.
To avoid a delay of game. Lockhart looking to the sky in frustration.
Wow.
Kendall Miller gathering his football team, had a message there for Lockhart. A crucial down here. Again, they've got to get to, call it the 13-yard line that they've got to get to be able to move the chains after this timeout.
Man.
If they can find 6 points on this drive, Heckma, this is a very different football game than it was early on in the second quarter.
No, it changes everything. Changes everything for this team, changes everything for this game. You know, it's just one of those, in this situation, I talked about at the beginning of the game that Todd Rogers, you know, he is so masterful as a coach, and Kendall Miller also a really good coach as well. Big time 4th down coming up.
4th and 5, Shelton. Scanning, over the middle, it's low and incomplete. He tried to find Jason Williams. Argyle with the stop.
That's a big hole because you get the crossing route right there. He bobbles the snap from the beginning. I don't know if that ball was tipped, but it was low.
I think Trotter may have gotten a piece of it.
Wow. Big time defensive stand right there by the Eagles. Not giving up any points. My question is, can the Mavericks do the same thing?
1st and 10, Argyle at their own 17. It feels like forever since McGuire Gasperson touched the football. Hands off here for Bell. Up the middle for 2.
These guys got to stay all over this Argyle offense. That running game with Watson Bell is just pretty much loosening these guys up to try and get something big on the outside, and it's almost unfair to have Caldwell lined up in the slot.
This has got to be like the 4th or 5th offensive snap for Argyle since the second quarter began. Up the middle of the field, wide open is Krzyzak. Krzyzak running away from Elijah White. Finally dragged down from behind at the 21.
I tell you, Elijah White has found himself on the receiving end of some big plays from the Eagles, man. And they find him in a man-on-man situation, and they just run Krzyzak at him, and he's able to get his towel and finally drag him down. Field position has now changed.
Argyle quickly back to the line of scrimmage. It's Krzyzak in motion. Looking for Bach, and it's intercepted. Did he squeeze it? Yes, he did. Picked off on the far side, and it's Elijah White who makes the pick on the deflection.
Well, I tell you what, it's good to have those redeeming qualities in Elijah White, redeeming himself off of Bach and that tip pass. Don't tell me that's not big. You got a teacher or administrator on the side over there on the track over there, just clapping hands. Boy, you needed that so bad.
A huge play. And Christian Lyons a little shove, like, go on, get you some, Elijah White.
Absolutely, because Elijah White's had himself a tough night. But that's 3 turnovers right now for Emerson.
Yep. And that was what I was saying a moment ago. How much has Argyle's hardly had the football offensively in this game since the first quarter came to an end? Because you had the punt return from Bruce, as here on the run, it's Lockhart, finally loose for the first time today, scooting up the far sideline. The Emerson crowd is starting to feel something a little bit on the far side.
What they're starting to feel is that this team offensively, some things are starting to happen for them. And I'm just telling you, on the other side, for DJ Shelton, being clutch on these throws are going to be very important to him coming down this 3rd and 4th quarter.
1st and 10 at the 39 for Emerson. They fumble the football. It's still loose on the deck. They're going to say that's Emerson ball. That's the initial signal from one of the officials. I think an offensive lineman pounced on top of it. And yes, according to Arthur Williams, it stays Maverick football.
Wow.
I don't know how.
This the center quarterback exchange has been shaky from the beginning of this game.
Man, Matias Talavera pulled off a magic act to end up with that football amidst 4 black jerseys. That was incredible. They gained a yard on the play. It's 2nd and 9. Lockhart cutting back, undercut by Garrett Westrom. So let me take you through this real quick. Nathaniel Bruce had the punt return to the 2-yard line, so Argyle ran 1 play on that drive in the early stages of the 2nd quarter. Then Bruce had the punt return for a touchdown, no offensive plays, so we're still at 1 in the 2nd quarter. Then he muffed the punt, no offensive plays on that possession. Emerson goes in and scores. And then on the first offensive play of the next possession, they've got the fumble by Krzyziak. They ran 2 offensive plays in the entire 2nd quarter.
Wow. We hadn't seen them. they have been on ice.
3rd down and 7. Shelton, flag on the play. Ripped down from behind by Max Bland. It's an illegal shift that will be declined.
They use Max Bland in so many different ways from his linebacker position, but when this guy decides to get home, boy, does he get home and get that quarterback down. You're looking at a real weapon for the Argyle Eagles defense in Max Bland. It's the 2nd time I've been able to get eyes on this kid, and I mean to tell you, he is the truth.
For a kid that's 6'2", 245 to be able to move the way that he does, he's a weapon. So Coetzee to punt it away again. Line drive, end over end punt. Nathaniel Bruce called for a fair catch.
Wow.
I'm stunned by that development.
We all are. On a line drive.
As fun as he's been to watch tonight, man, he did call for a couple fair catches, I'm now remembering, in the first half before he had back-to-back punt return masterpieces. So Argyle will take over at their own 38-yard line. Emerson again in need of a stop. 5:10 to play, 3rd quarter. Gasperson. Another deep shot. Again looking for Krzyziak. Picked off again, and again it's Elijah White with the interception. The redemption arc of Elijah White, the senior. My word.
What? Elijah White is like, keep picking on me, okay? Keep picking on me. And they had him man-to-man again on Krzyziak, and he just undercut that ball. Gasperson just didn't put enough on it. And Elijah White able to run underneath it. That is a great turnover.
Elijah White's like the 4th grader that was like 4'2" and got picked on by all the 6th graders, went home for summer, beefed up, put 4 inches on, came back after halftime like, what now?
What now?
Say what again?
Wow.
1st and 10 at the 15. Lockhart trying to get the corner, scoots out of bounds at the 20.
Flag comes in at the last minute. Believe you're going to get a hold out here on the edge.
Emerson just can't avoid the flags.
No.
I believe he said number 7, Jason Williams and Arthur Williams, are white hat tonight. Microphone not operational. It's going to be a half the distance to the goal penalty, and it's going to walk the football back to the 7, maybe call it the 8-yard line.
You know, they've tried a few tunnels on the outside, but, you know, this Eagles defense, they just tackle so well. Those linebackers get downhill so quickly. I try and go back to it because the running game just isn't operating.
It doesn't operate here either. Nowhere to go. Cameron Lockhart has run into a brick wall time and time and time again.
what's really shocking, the amount of times that I've seen Frisco Emerson, one of the things about them that's been consistent is their ability to run the ball. Just not happening for him tonight.
2nd and 20, Shelton far side, finds McClain again. They've done a much better job of getting him the football in the second half. He gets him back just beyond the original line of scrimmage and sets up at least an attainable 3rd down and 9.
All over the passing game too. I guess you call it bend but don't break, but again, when they catch the ball, it's hats to the ball, and they're getting these guys down quickly.
Ball sits at the 16. They've got to get to the 25. 3rd and 9 for Shelton. Play action fake again. Bland all over him, able to evade him. Fires. He's got a man, and getting a foot in bounds is Kelton Wafer for the 1st down.
Boy, thought that was going to be a holding penalty right here on Bland. Oh my.
Matt Bortolasi got away with one there. The entire Argyle sideline, coaches, fans, players, all of them hollering that should have been a hold. The 1st down stands, handoff Lockhart. Trying to run to the outside. Picks up a block from his wide receiver McClain and falls forward to the 34 with a pickup of 3.
Trying to bend that ball out, trying to bend it outside, just not able to get there. Got a player down on the far side.
It's an Argyle Eagle. It's Luke Lane, a young man who has battled a shoulder injury all through this season. Injured it against Mansfield Timberview. And that's again what they're pointing at, is that right shoulder. He was hurt against Mansfield Timberview, missed a week, came back for the game that we did here against Colleyville Heritage, and we saw him re-injure that shoulder. He missed another chunk of time. Finally getting back healthy here late in the season into the playoffs, and this poor kid just can't catch a break.
Yeah, once you get one of those shoulder injuries and that thing keeps coming out on you, it's a tough thing to play with because anything could bring it out of socket. And people say, out of socket. Yes, out of socket. It is not pleasant.
You can see the pain on the face of Luke Lane. Aaron Fowler, Edward Vega, Taylor Kimbrell, Gina Dickey, the training staff, the athletic training staff for the Argyle Eagles. Trying to take care of Luke Lane, a young man who would love to see less of that quartet if he could, but it just has not been that kind of year for Luke Lane.
6'3", 200-pound cornerback. Big kid.
They got some big kids in that secondary for sure. After the injury timeout, 2nd and 7, another high snap. Shelton able to bring it down, firing deep, has McClain behind the defense. Knocked away at the last second. Landon Howell able to recover and knock it away.
And Blake McClain on the post route, he has a step. DJ just needs to give him more air underneath that ball and let his big fella run underneath it. But that's great coverage on the back end. You got to give credit where credit is due. Landon Howell.
Howell did a good job to defend that and not get called for a pass interference when it's an underthrown ball and you're trailing. Real easy to run full speed into your guy and knock him down and get a cheap pass interference penalty. He was able to avoid that. 3rd and 7. They bring the pressure. Well protected. Shelton over the middle. Yes, that ball was caught for a 1st down by Jason Williams.
Oh, they say he didn't catch it. Wow.
I'm going to need to see this again. That looked like a catch and a half. On second glance, I'm not as sure. I thought, though, can we see that one more time a little slower? I'm not sure that it wasn't a catch either. I'm not as sure that it was a catch as I was when I saw it live. I mean, I see the ball come loose a little bit, but I'm still not sure that his forearm isn't underneath it.
Wow.
Man. 4th and 7, and they've got to punt it away. Flags prior to the snap. I believe this is going to be a delay of game. The play clock's at 0 anyway. Field judge threw the flag. Ordinarily, it's the umpire that would throw a delay of game flag.
Hey, well, from all the noise that's been made over here on this Argyle sideline, that flag came out. This crowd went dead silent. Everybody wanted to know what that call is.
A long discussion here with Arthur Williams.
Don't know what could have happened on that punt, but
Pregame was the call against Frisco Emerson.
All of that discussion for a delay of game penalty. All right, and it's 4th and 12.
Okay.
I thought for sure with all of that discussion it would have been something
a little bit
more
egregious.
significant, more complex than a delay game, but it's 4th and 12. Bruce at his own 43, already with a punt return for a touchdown. Another one that he brought all the way back to the 2. He does call for a fair catch. He must have called for it very early because I never saw it.
Yeah.
Fair catch at the 39.
Todd Rogers, go ahead. He went ahead and gave his playmaker the warning. He's just like, look.
You better be sure, sir.
You better, absolutely. Matter of fact, I don't even need you to be sure. Fair catch it from now on. Don't even worry about it. We'll take all the mystery out of it. Now the question is, can this Argyle Eagles offense get back going?
1st and 10. Bell stacked up. Agape Lawrence met him in the hole and drove him back. It's a loss of 2.
Well, you need that from this defense. You need the big fella to come through right now. This defense, man, they have been playing lights out, getting turnovers for their offense. Their offense has to reward them.
2nd down and a dozen. Let us know in the YouTube comments where you're watching from tonight, who your favorite player is on either one of these two teams. Gasperson, near side, put it right on Krzyzak, and he's got a 1st down into Emerson territory.
Great connection between these two. And all that is a chain-moving catch right there from number 1, Will Krzyzak.
1st and 10 at the 48. They'll come this way again, incomplete, looking for Caldwell.
Yeah, Julian Caldwell, the touch, all he does is catch touchdowns. It's like, look, possession receptions are not my thing. Get me to the end zone, I'll show you what I can do.
His stat line in the first half, 2 catches, 58 yards, 2 touchdowns. Bell on the delayed handoff, and hello, Agape Lawrence.
We're going to stop you right here.
He's tackled by Agape Lawrence. It's 3rd down and 7.
Final 100 seconds of the 3rd quarter. In so far a scoreless 3rd quarter. Can Emerson's defense get another stop? Frankly, they need one to stay in this football game.
Oh, it's a big 3rd down right here. If they get a stop, boy, this is a win.
Argyle trying to get to the 38 for a 1st down. Gasperson still looking in the near side. 4 seconds on the play clock, and Argyle's going to have to burn a timeout here.
Friday Night Football is sponsored by Texas Day Brazil. This holiday season, get extra value when you purchase gift cards online. For every $100 gift card you buy on Texas Day Brazil's website, receive a $20 to $5 bonus card, or purchase a $50 gift card online and enjoy a $10 bonus card. Texas Day Brazil gift cards are a simple and thoughtful gift idea. Share the ultimate Brazilian dining experience and treat yourself too.
Courtney Govro in the YouTube comments says watching from Kansas City tonight, says her favorite player is Tyler Roberts, the big left tackle from Argyle, all 6'10", 330 pounds of him. Kevin Shepard says Jason Williams needs more touches for the Emerson Mavericks. He was the young man that I thought caught that 3rd down and 7 to move the chains for Emerson on the last possession.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the touch you had right there, the 1st down that was not to be.
Mark Alonzo saying ball handling from Argyle keeping Emerson in this football game. Yes, 3 turnovers by the Argyle Eagles tonight, 2 of them directly leading to Emerson touchdowns to make this a 10-point game as it stands here late third quarter. Samuel Hurd says Emerson needs this stop.
Well, here it is.
Two wide receivers to the bottom of the screen. Krzyzak in the slot. They've got to get to the 38 to move the chains. Over the middle, on target, Caldwell, first down.
All right, I take everything back that I said about Caldwell and only catching touchdowns. He is a possession receiver, and he knew he was going to take that lick by Agape Lawrence and still came down with the catch.
1st and 10 at the 32. Pressure right up the middle. Lawrence, Gasperson got away, but not for long. Lawrence finishes him off. A loss of 4.
You may get away one time, but you won't get away twice. Good job by number 11, just continuing to stay aggressive and pursue and get that sack.
Agape Lawrence designed the crest that goes on the diploma for Emerson High School students.
Unbelievable.
When Kendall Miller told us that earlier this week, I was like, that's about as well-rounded a young man. That's pretty impressive.
Oh, he is. I've been talking about this kid for years, telling everybody about him, just how good this kid is.
End of the third quarter here in Argyle. Eagles possession, and they're up 10 as we head to the 4th in the opening round of the playoffs on Friday Night Football.
Thanks, Delkus.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
Stay tuned after the game as we unveil our Texas Day Brazil on fire player of the game.
Leader in the clubhouse, Nathaniel Bruce, as we head to the 4th, perhaps, for player of the game. Maybe Julian Caldwell with his 2 touchdown grabs.
That's going to be close. That is going to be close. I don't know where I am on that so far.
Yeah.
Because
that is up in the air at the moment.
Have we ever given a defensive guy player? We haven't.
Not yet. This is still very early on in its lifespan. We've only been doing this for what, four weeks now, maybe?
Yeah.
4 or 5 weeks.
I'm just saying.
It's not been long.
Hasn't been. I don't know.
We shall see. 2nd down and 13 to start the period. Frisco Emerson needs a stop in the worst way. To the air, too tall. Looking for Krzyzak. It hasn't been that common that Gasperson's been off target today.
No, he has not missed him at all. Not like that, where you make Krzyzak climb the ladder. Krzyzak is already 6'3".
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not like he's lacking for height by any stretch. But he'd have to be a lot taller than 6'3" to get that one.
And now 3rd down and 13 here for Jake Gregory's offense. The Argyle Eagles need to get to the 22 to move the chains. Handoff here for Watson Bell, and he will not have it. Picked up 2 on the play. 4th and a dozen.
Boy, just continuing to run downhill, but that's a 4th. It's going to bring up 4th down, and guess what? This offense is staying on the field.
Kind of no man's land here at the 34. No real value in punting the football.
Absolutely.
And certainly not in field goal range going into the wind here in this 4th quarter.
But the wind is all of a sudden died down.
It's not as strong as it was in the first half, yeah. They're going to burn another timeout here? Are they going to let the play clock expire and punt it away?
I think that's maybe the plan, is because that is a delay of game. So when you talk about no man's land, Coach Todd Rogers said, look, this is going to take care of itself. I'll get myself out of no man's land to be able to punt this one.
I've seen it happen before where if a team does that, the opposing team says, nah, we decline the penalty.
Yeah, you're going to kick it from right. Still decision on you.
So Argyle will bring Nathaniel Bruce out to punt it away. Spiraling punt up the far sideline, and Nathaniel Bruce did this very well. Did that ever work out well for Todd Rogers, pinning him back at the 4. Landon Howell there to down it.
Gosh, beautiful execution right there by Bruce. High angling kick. Looks like they're going to place this ball at about the 4-yard line.
Katisha Curtis says she's watching from Wichita Falls, wondering who they play next. A Memorial fan tuning in. Sebastian Moore says he's watching from Carencro, Louisiana. Says his favorite player is Gasperson.
Carencro.
Carencro.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I got family. I got family there. That's the only reason why I know.
Okay. There you go. Wide receiver screen here set up. Whistles kind of at the snap. I think they're telling the student section behind that they need to cool it. I just saw kind of a, hey, enough motion from Arthur Williams.
You're back there with the guys in the camo. You got to let them. Look at these guys, man.
This is the moment they've been waiting for all night long.
What are you
they're
doing?
like, they're right there, man. We got to mess with them.
Can't do it. Got the duck. Look at this guy with the duck horn right there. That noise making galore. They'll try this again.
I don't think they can stop him from rattling the coin bins. 1st and 10. Handoff Lockhart. Trying to pick his way somewhere. Nowhere to go.
You just can't be a patient runner with these guys, man. This is wow. They haven't gotten anything going on the ground. It's been frustrating. It really has been frustrating for Lockhart.
Mark Newport in the YouTube comments says pulling for a District 4 sweep, says let's go Emerson. Retort says he's watching from Bend, Oregon tonight. Says he's never even heard of these two schools, but just wants to watch a good football game.
There you go.
JP O'Donnell, I'm not sure if this is true or not, but he says he's watching from Yokohama, Japan. 2nd down and 10. Shelton keeps it himself. Runs it out to the 14-yard line, 13-yard line, just a yard shy of the line to gain. It'll be 3rd and 1.
And this is a kid in number 13 that's just gutting it out, ladies and gentlemen. Those knees, know what he's dealing with.
Oh, they do give him the 1st down.
He is, I'm telling you, really a gutsy performance by DJ Shelton.
So 1st and 10 right at the 14-yard line. Good run by Shelton. Battling through that knee and making a play. Flags at the snap. False start.
Man, you go forward to go backwards.
This has been a heavily penalized football game.
Back to the student section, just telling those guys, look, you got it.
It'll be 1st and 15 after the penalty. They just added 3 points on the scoreboard for Emerson. I don't believe they intended to do that. I think they tried to change the down and distance.
I think Emerson
Our scoreboard that you're seeing on your screen is fed by that data.
I think Emerson will take it. They won't.
Somebody will eventually notice that. I have to imagine. They haven't yet, though. It is 31-21. Kendall Miller's trying to argue that the false start was caused by the student section behind the play. We mentioned earlier the band not here tonight, so they put the students down there in the camo, looking like they came straight from the duck blind, with the gallon jugs full of coins rattling away, trying to fire things up, and Arthur Williams is trying to keep control of everything right now. Sir, I wish you the best of luck. They still have not fixed the score. We may have to let them know that here at some point. 1st and 15. Wide receiver screen, nearly intercepted. Oh my, Garrett Westrom saw that coming the whole way.
Garrett Westrom, how did you not catch that? Oh man, he read it perfectly. And you know what that's gonna do? That's just gonna rile up the student section.
2nd down and 15. They have now fixed the score, 31-21. The in-house scoreboard that feeds ours now all reading the correct score. Shelton flushed, fires, nearly intercepted again, and again it was Westrom that got his hands on it.
Wow. Just not enough time, and you see DJ Shelton out of the pocket.
Third and 15. Student section getting loud again. They've got to get to the 24 to move the chains. Shelton over the middle behind his intended target. Looking for Talavera, and it's incomplete.
Oh, Talavera had an opportunity. Man, it would have been asking for DJ Shelton to come and get these ball out to his receiver. Talavera just can't get his hands on it.
We have already once seen Emerson punt from their own end zone, and Nathaniel Bruce brought it back to the 2. Bruce standing at the plus 40. Coetzee to punt it away.
Got a kick.
Fair catch. Nice punt, driving Bruce back to the 49. They will start in plus territory, but only just barely. A very important punt there from Coetzee to at least steal back a little bit of field position.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, Coach Rogers told him, boy, don't you even think about it. Not again. Not going to happen.
I'll tell you what, man. When you got a kid of Nathaniel Bruce's talent, there is a certain level of gumption that comes along with that, a certain level of self-belief that comes with when you're that talented a kid. And that's a tough thing for a coach to try and kind of walk that fine line, because you don't want to stifle that. No. You don't want to stifle that belief. Play action here. They read this one perfectly. They knew the ball was going to Braden Bach, and they did not let it happen. Malik Hawkins there to cancel it out.
Sometimes you save a playmaker from himself. You gotta save it for himself.
Sure.
You just know that kid he believed supremely in his abilities, and he thinks that every opportunity that I get, I can make something happen. It's just like, look, we're in a playoff game. We're down by 10. We cannot give them any reasons.
2nd down and 10 here for Argyle. Can Emerson's defense again come up with a stop? Neither team has scored in the second half of this game. Bell finding space. Watson Bell into the second level, and he's got a first down.
And you love to see the little man coming out from behind all of those big bodies. He is definitely a dynamo. Let's see if Gasperson will let one rip here. This is where him and Julian Caldwell, man, they make hay down here. They got number 3, Malik Hawkins on him. And the big Hawk, boy, he is moved up to the line of scrimmage and pulled back real quick.
Bagley falls forward through the tackle of Jackson Canada, a gain of 3. Argyle, usually Heckma, a high-tempo team, starting to slow things down here a little bit, starting to bleed a little bit of that play clock away between snaps as Gasperson looks to the near side and offensive coordinator Jake Gregory.
Yeah, we talked about it at the opening, Mike. It's just you have 2 really good coaches, and Todd Rogers has seen it all. So he's been here before. He knows how to take his foot just a little bit off the gas pedal.
Look at Gasperson breaking contain and taken down right at the 30-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and a yard for Argyle.
Gasperson using the referee to shield him from Agape Lawrence. That's a smart man. You see him right here getting out. He's number 11 right there. Let's get him behind the umpire.
Set a screen, set a screen. 3rd and 1, tight formation here. Bruce, the back to get the handoff, and he's gone. Nathaniel Bruce for the touchdown. "30 yards up the gut for Nathaniel Bruce, and Argyle's got a 3-score lead.
And all Nathaniel Bruce needed was a crease, and you see it right here. Gave him just enough space to get through. And Nathaniel Bruce just walks into the end zone.
7:10 to play in the 4th, a crucial PAT that is up and through, because now it is a 3-score game, 38-21 with 7:10 to play in the 4th. The Argyle Eagles, number 4 in the state. Number 8's been the story of the night, though. His 3rd touchdown of the football game. And Argyle is inching closer to the area round of the playoffs.
That's number 8. We've been talking about him quite a bit tonight, but Nathaniel Bruce, he is absolutely a playmaker, whether it be on special teams, doesn't matter wherever he is impacting the game. You need guys like that you can count on. Nathaniel Bruce is definitely that.
When you got a kid that is big enough and strong enough and fast enough to do all the different things that they ask him to do, he's their short yardage back. He's their punt returner. He's their starting safety. He's a captain for this football team. As a junior, by the way.
You missed one.
What did I miss? Punt returner?
Punter.
Punter, too, yes. Yes, one of a few punters they have on this football team. They've got Nathaniel Bruce. They've got Jackson Green. We've seen both of them kick. We've seen Anthony Ruvalcaba kick. They have at times this season, we haven't seen them do it tonight, but they will at times put both Bruce and Green out there and run the double punter set. We saw them do that last year against Melissa. We saw them do it. We didn't see them do it earlier this year against Colleyville Heritage because Green was hurt in that game. But they've got a lot of quirks that they do with their special teams to just try and keep you off balance. But Nathaniel Bruce does it all for this football team.
Yes, he does.
It'll be Ruvalcaba to kick off this time. Squib kick fielded at the 27. Lions twisting his way through the coverage team across midfield. Lions still going all the way to the 44. Emerson's going to need to make moves in a hurry. That's a good start, courtesy of Christian Lyons.
Yeah, plus territory now. But Lyons just making it all happen on his own. Some blocks on the outside there. Another missed tackle. A spin move, and he's still going.
So 1st and 10 at the 44. And an Emerson offense that, frankly, hasn't been able to move the ball very much tonight. Now is in a spot where they've got to pick up big chunks of yardage in a hurry. This is one way to do it. Firing deep for McLean. Overshot him just a hair.
Yeah, overshot him. And again, another some more miscommunication. You have number 7, Jason Young, in the same area as McLean. No way McLean was going to be able to come down with that one.
Under 7 to play, 2nd and 10 in the backfield, immediately getting a hold there of Nick Clark, but Clark able to work his way nearly back to the line of scrimmage. Should have been a loss of 5, instead a loss of just a yard.
Should have been a major loss. Nick Clark, his ability to get out of that one is, man, Tanner Kane had him dead to rights.
3rd and 11. Shelton changing the play. 3 wide receivers to the bottom of the screen. Pressure picked up nicely. Fires deep, looking for Wafer, but overshot him, and it's 4th down. No choice but to go for it here.
None at all. What an atmosphere. I mean, look, every time we've come here, man, the welcoming committee has been awesome.
Yeah. It's a fun place to come to a game. Emerson's got to get to the 34. Shelton, well protected, threw this one way over the head of McLean and incomplete. Turnover on downs, and Argyle can taste it now. 6:05 away.
Boy, these guys are all hyped up on this side for the Argyle Eagles. They played one heck of a game. There's been some back and forth in this game, but my goodness.
Argyle nearing closer to the area round. Wichita Falls Memorial awaits in that 2nd round. Winner of that game will face the winner of, I believe, I got to double check the Walnut Grove score. Walnut Grove Seguin playing in one bi-district round matchup. Winner of that game takes on Lubbock Cooper in the 2nd round. And then winners meet in the regional semifinals. I saw a comment about Argyle potentially playing South Oak Cliff later on this year. Watson Bell trying to make sure they're going to have that kind of opportunity. Surging into the 2nd level and into Emerson territory down inside the 30-yard line. Argyle, if they play South Oak Cliff, it wouldn't be Heckma until the state semifinals. That's the way the bracket shakes out. Sock in Region 2. Argyle in Region 1. So Argyle's got work to do to get to that point. But these are the 2 teams that have most recently played Sock in the state semifinals the last 2 years. It certainly feels possible.
Yeah, that would be a massive matchup. But you talk about for the Golden Bears, they have so many athletes all over that field.
1st and 10. Bagley on the carry. Slung down by Lawrence.
This is the one thing I was talking about coming into this game. It's just seeing this offensive line and how they wear down your defensive line. And after each and every play, you're watching Emerson just get up off of the mat. Now things have slowed down a lot now for Argyle.
Mark Newport in the YouTube comments saying Walnut Grove's up 42-35 on Arlington Seguin. So it sounds like a pretty good football game there going on as well.
That is a good game.
2nd and 8. Gasperson flushed, trying to direct traffic, gets away. Gasperson flips it downfield for Bagley. Bagley inside the 5. Was Gasperson behind the line of scrimmage? What a play, freelancing from the junior quarterback.
Well,
no flags down.
No flags, but I think you're looking at about the definitely past the line. Wow.
I think the line of scrimmage might have been the 28, so he might have been clean. He might have been clean there. Yeah, I'm watching it back on our YouTube feed. It's a little bit behind. Yeah, 28 was the line of scrimmage. He was behind. What a play from Gasperson. He wasn't behind by much.
Yeah.
But all you need to have is even just a tenth of your heel behind the line of scrimmage, any part of your body behind the line of scrimmage, and it's legal. And it sets up 1st and goal from the 5. Bagley. Player down here for Frisco Emerson. Parker Reese hit the deck after he helped make the tackle. he did pop back up.
Friday Night Football is sponsored by Texas Day Brazil. This holiday season, get extra value when you purchase gift cards online. For every $100 gift card you buy on Texas Day Brazil's website, receive a $25 bonus card, or purchase a $50 card online and enjoy a $10 bonus card. A Texas Day Brazil gift card is a gift of a special night out for friends, family, clients, or employees.
2nd and goal. Bagley again. To the 2.
Tell you, what a job. Got to give some credit where credit is due to this front 5. Tyler Roberts, Keegan Lawson, Justin Bowen, Weston Chaney, Braxton Firestone. These guys have been working all night long. When you come up against Argyle, you have got to figure out this problem that they have up front. They are big, and them big fellas can move.
They're going to try and move bodies here on 3rd and goal. I think that's going to be an illegal shift. It looked like they had illegally shifted on this same type of play the last time they had the football. And I think this time they do catch 44, I think it was, Xavier Trotter. Oh, they're going to say offside.
What?
If they run this same play again, and it looks like they're not going to. They're going to bring a different unit on.
Yeah.
It's going to be 3rd down and goal from the 2.
They're going to change personnel completely. Not even risk having that happen again.
They move the ball to the 1, half the distance of the goal with the penalty, so 3rd and goal for the 1. Gasperson, toss to Bagley. Agape Lawrence says, no, sir. Loss of 4 on the play.
I'm telling you, look at this. This is what you call hot pursuit. This is hot pursuit right here. This kid is amazing.
Agape Lawrence is probably playing the final minutes of his high school football career right now. That's a young man they're going to remember at Frisco Emerson for a very long time because he was instrumental in helping create the program that they have within this Mavericks program. Fitting for perhaps his final defensive snap to be that play. Field goal attempt here for Ruvalcaba, up and through. A 21-yard field goal will make it a 20-point game with $1:38 to play.
Yeah, Mikey's special. That's a special player, and so many of these guys out here. Malik Hawkins, he's also a kid that's going to go on and play with his brother at Oklahoma. Tell you what, my grad assistant at Kansas State was Brett Venables. Know him well. He's going to get some really special guys. And just the way that these guys are trying to build that program in Oklahoma. I got another name for you guys. It's Agape Lawrence. You gotta look. I got another name for you. And here's the thing. I got an opportunity to talk to Agape before the game. And I told him, I said, man, it does not end for you here. It does not end for you here. No matter what you have to do, you get to the next level, you just go play.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to see you. That is a football player down there. And Mike, so many times, and I mean, I've said this quite a bit in my career when I see a really good player that I don't know who is the person that's handing out stars that, gives all these kids the pub and makes them the players that I guess through marketing that they become. But if you just want a football player, a good kid, solid character, that is Agape Lawrence. And look, man, it has been absolutely my pleasure to watch this kid play football. He plays it the way that it's supposed to be played. He plays the linebacker position like I wish I played. He is that good. He has that kind of passion. And when you meet this kid in person, I mean, it just reeks, of good family, good kid.
Yeah. Really, really good kid, really good football player. And yes, to your point, somebody's going to give him an opportunity, whether it's at the 1AA FCS level, if it's a Division II level, somebody's going to get a good football player, and he's going to go play there for a year or two. And everybody's going to go, all right, you're right. We missed on this kid. Get him over here.
Yeah. I'm sorry that it has to be that way. You know, you've asked so many people. I've had those Ashton Genty conversations where people have said, "Well, how did Ashton Genty end up going to Boise State?" Boise State, first of all, they do a wonderful job of
That's
recruiting.
a great program. Yeah,
great program. They do a great job of recruiting North Texas. But I'm sorry, you have some programs around here just in Texas that missed the bus on Ashton Genty. Now, give Ashton credit. He stayed in Boise.
Shelton, nice play, nice throw, better catch by Caden Camps. And that's going to be just enough for a first down. Minute 28 to play. There is a flag down on the play, and it's going to negate all of it.
But when I was talking about Genty, just him staying in Boise with so many players getting into the transfer portal, how valuable he would have been in, NIL and all of that, but he elected to stay in Boise. Just really a special kid, and they got some really good ones coming behind him next year from Texas also.
Final minute and a half here on Friday Night Football.
It's been a heck of a game, Mike.
Emerson there for a little while. It looked like they may have been truly on the comeback trail. Just couldn't get the offense rolling in the second half. Shelton has to just flip this one out of play. Argyle is going to move on and play Wichita Falls Memorial in the second round of the playoffs. Improved to 10-1 on the year. Todd Rogers told us, he said he feels like they have the ingredients of a team that could be a state championship caliber team. He said, listen, I'm not trying to compare right now. We're still way too early on in this process, but I know what it looks like, what you need to have to be able to do it. He feels like they at least have the ingredients. Shelton firing deep for Blake McLean, incomplete.
I love the way that when you were talking to Coach Rogers, you wouldn't just let him give up on the answer. You kept pressing him on it, and I'm like, Mike, let it go. But that is the journey that I'm learning. I'm learning here, okay? I'm learning that my guy Mike Leslie is like a dog with a bone. When he has a question he wants to get answered, he's not going to give up. And it's like Coach Rogers I don't know. He just had to get into a groove of how to answer your question. And you finally let it go. But at the end of the day, he's just basically saying, look, we got so long to go to figure out if these guys are really the real deal.
Shelton trying to break contain on what was 3rd and 20. He's able to pick up a decent chunk of it and set up 4th down and 9. Final minute here of the bi-district round of the playoffs.
What a
6
game.
weeks from today, you'll have 4A D1, 4A D2, 5A D1, I believe is the structure this year. I think D1 is first, D2 is second for all of the districts this year.
A great weekend of football that is at AT&T Stadium.
The other 5A, both 6As on Saturday. Small schools Wednesday and Thursday. That'll be a first down for Blake McLean on what was 4th and 8. They pick up 10 out to the 46. 40 seconds left in this one. Come join us for high school game night tonight at 10:15 on WFAA. Joe Trahan's out at the Prosper Coppell game. I'll be curious to see how that one went. Michelle Montaigne out at the Anna Colleyville Heritage game. I saw a comment from someone in here. Mark Newport said that District 4 goes 3-1, so Argyle's going to be the only team out of District 3 that got a win. That means Anna knocked off Colleyville Heritage tonight. Shelton over the middle, in and out of the hands of Caden Camps, who paid for it. Whew. Man, anybody that has Argyle on their schedule the rest of the way, be prepared to be bruised on Saturday.
Yeah.
Goodness.
This is a defense. They are coming downhill. They got some really good guys up front. That linebacker core for me, I think really Brody Bomar. We saw him chase down some guys, get some tackles out in the flat. He absolutely wonderful job. Max Bland is a wrecking ball.
Tunnel screen here for McLean. Makes the first couple guys miss. Still going. Taken down short of the line to gain, and that will be the final play of the football game.
Looking like a young LeDarren.
Yes, indeed. Looking like Pops. 41-21, the final score. The students rushing the field as Argyle moves on to the second round of the playoffs.
Coach Todd Rogers says, get back. Get back.
You want to see respect for a head football coach? It's right there on your screen. They all saw Todd Rogers and said, nope, not crossing him. 41-21, the final score. And the number 4 team in the state starts what they hope is a 6-game march to the title game. Argyle moves to 10-1.
This was one of those wonderful games that you get an opportunity to see with so many playmakers. Look, you talk about Frisco Emerson, they have battled through this season. That game versus Melissa at the Star was an instant classic. One of those games that they absolutely had to have. This was a district that was hard to come out of. This is the Emerson team that absolutely got battered and bruised and just finally running out of gas against a really good Argyle team. Argyle on the other side, they are big, physical, they are bruisers. Man, this is going to be a matchup no matter who comes in front of these guys that you're going to have to put your big boy pants on when you face the Argyle Eagles. They are well coached. I think one thing about this thing, one thing I can take away from this game that I'm sure Coach Rogers will talk to them about at length is the turnovers.
I don't need to remind you that. Okay, here we go. Hold on.
Todd Rogers and his team, 41-21 victors. Taking a moment to reflect on it all. Thankful for what they were able to do tonight. When we return, we'll hand out our player of the game here on Friday Night Football.
Thanks, Delkus.
Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
Your Friday night lights just got brighter. Catch a live broadcast of the biggest high school football games all season long. The 12-yard touchdown. Cheer on your hometown. Plus, get the full halftime experience. Don't miss every step, beat, and cheer. Lacey's still on his feet and he'll score. Join me, Mike Leslie, and Heckma Harrison for all the insights, commentary, and all the stats. Stream the broadcast free. Friday Night Football on WFAA+.
WFAA has a legacy of changing the system.
Most recently, we did a story on ankle monitors and how they don't work, and how criminals are committing crimes with ankle monitors. And yeah, there's legislative change coming.
Our 2-year investigation caught the attention of state representatives. Now, it's a crime to cut off ankle monitors.
I want people to see things that we need to hold people accountable for.
North Texas, it's a hot one today. If you're planning on taking the pups out, make sure to protect their paws. That asphalt is going to be hot.
Thanks, Delkin. Thanks, Delkus.
Possibly the most loved and hated man in North Texas. Whatever the weather brings, we bring the Delkus.
The Cowboys getting set to take on the Chargers, and we've got it covered for you on WFAA. The Cowboys trying to get off to a hot start.
And now, the Texas de Brazil on fire player of the game.
We had a couple options tonight. Nathaniel Bruce is the answer this evening. The punt return for a touchdown from 63 yards out was the most electrifying of his plays today. But he had another punt return that he brought back to the 2-yard line, scored on a 2-yard touchdown run right after that, had a 30-yard touchdown run as well, made a number of big plays on the defensive side of the ball. This, though, Heckma, was the most special of the bunch. And Nathaniel Bruce, the junior safety for Argyle, our player of the game tonight.
Yeah, that was an electrifying play. How he got out of that, I do not know, but this kid does it all. He's a punter. He plays the safety. I mean, he's the fullback. He's the running back. I mean, what doesn't this kid do? He's a water boy. I mean, he's a cheer captain. I don't know, man. This kid is absolutely amazing. And I think when you have a playmaker of this caliber on your team, you have to ask yourself, when you come into a game versus Argyle, who do you pay attention to? There's so many guys on this roster defensively that you have to account for because of the physical style that they play. I mean, Nathaniel Bruce was not only just those touchdowns, he made some tackles also that changed this game and the complexity of the way that the offense ran on the other side for Emerson. Those punt returns, I think, just kind of capsulize the kind of player that he is. But going through this playoffs, I dare say you're going to find 2, 3, 4 different guys that you're going to be able to go through. He's just a cog in the wheel of so many great players that play here at Argyle.
He didn't touch the football all that much tonight. A number of fair catches, which, if you want to call that a touch, be my guess, but I wouldn't. When he actually touched the football and had an opportunity to do something with it, had a punt return from about the 38 back to the 2, scored a touchdown the very next play, 2-yard touchdown run, had a 63-yard punt return for a touchdown, had a 30-yard touchdown run. He had 2 carries. They were both for touchdowns, one for 2 yards, one for 30 yards. He touched the ball, probably 6, 7 times tonight in terms of actually having a chance to go do something with the football. Scored 3 touchdowns, did have the muff punt, which matters, and that was part of how Emerson, at least for a moment, got back into this football game. But on balance, you take all the things that Nathaniel Bruce did tonight, offensively, defensively, special teams especially, terrific performance from that young man, and he's a big part of why the Argyle Eagles are number 4 in the state and moving on to the area round.
Big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games, and that's exactly what he's done. I mean, this is moving on to the next round. Every team that's in front of Argyle is going to have to face these playmakers, these guys that they have on defense that do so many multiple things for them. I think you talk about the amount of times he touched the ball. I mean, it seemed like every time he did have the ball, he made something happen. I'll just go back to that. I believe it was a 4th down or third and 1 that they had, and he just finds a glimmer of light, and he runs to the end zone. If it's not for that, it's the punts that he's returning. But defensively, these guys play so tough. We talk so much about the offensive line. I'll just go back to Xavier Trotter, the job that he did, number 44. He was all over the place. And also Max Bland. This is a great team. And I tell you, man, I love the way that you tried to hold Coach Todd Rogers' feet to the fire to make him just make a proclamation was what you were asking for. Just make a proclamation.
I didn't want him to make a prediction or anything.
Not a prediction, but it's just like, look, you've seen those championship level teams.
Yeah.
Are any of these teams you have reminiscent, in your time here? You've seen them all. These guys look like it, and he just wouldn't. All he would say.
He's too veteran.
He is. And it's like he knows this is a week-to-week thing. And I tell you what, man. Next week you're going to be going up. You're going to see an Argyle team that's going to be ready to hit you in the mouth. And they come on the field with 11 guys that play at an absolute different speed. I love this team.
Let's put a bow on the Emerson Mavericks season for just a moment, because they backed up a magical 2023 with really a nice 2024 season as well, playing in truly the deepest and most talented district, certainly in 5A in North Texas. And I think you could argue I don't know if I would quite go to most talented, because then you start getting into the category of, well, let's talk about the Duncanville DeSoto district. Sure, fine. But depth of talent and the difficulty of getting out of it, 4-5A D2 this year was a war.
Yes.
And Emerson figured out a way to get through it despite not having Mike Hawkins, despite having only 2 starters back on the offensive side of the ball this season. They had a really nice season. It comes to an end tonight, but there's a lot for these kids to be proud of about what they did here in 2024.
No, a great team, and we talked to Coach Miller about his quarterback. Hawkins last season was everything for those guys, and he goes off to college, and DJ Shelton, the ball's in his hands, and he has to make some things happen. He does it. He answers the bell time and time again, whether it be with his arm or with his feet. Guys like Kelton Wafer always responded and was there as well. I mean, you have so many playmakers on this offense that I think really, did everything that they could to give you the points, give you the advantage on offense, but it was their defense all along that really kept them in a lot of these games. Those district games were decided by the defense. You go back to that Melissa game, and that game, I think the defense just played lights out by shutting down Melissa's offense. Look, this is a season that these guys are going to look back on, and obviously they won't hang their head because they battled at pivotal times in the season. Just a great team, a high-character team, very well coached, and I look for the Emerson Mavericks to return again next season.
It's the Argyle Eagles, though, that are moving on tonight. To the second round of the playoffs they go. In the area round, Wichita Falls Memorial awaits. 41-21 victors tonight. The Argyle Eagles are. 2 Julian Caldwell touchdown grabs from McGuire Gasperson. Nathaniel Bruce with 3 touchdowns on the day to lead the way for Todd Rogers' team, and they move on to the second round of the playoffs. For our entire Friday Night Football crew, our director, Clay Marshall, our photographers, Graham Rayner, Jeremy Taub, and Tim Kalnin, our digital coordinators back in-house, Pete Friedman and Zachary Giannis, Heckma Harrison alongside, I'm Mike Leslie. Thanks so much for joining us tonight in the opening round of the UIL playoffs. We will see you next week right here on Friday Night Football.